Oh, wait, I got to share now, don't I?
If you want. We are live streaming, but the show isn't started, so.
That's fine.
Hey!
Everybody ready?
I got tagged in something.
Yeah.
Like Diod Radio.
I'm ready.
Diod Radio.
Oh, they're live.
This is the latest disclosure in a report from National Civil Defense Headquarters in Washington. It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life.
Welcome to Dead Radio.
We're not doing that.
How did she come to have sex with a dead man?
Don't call me Radio Unit 91.
You're a dead man. You're a dead man!
He's God here in this radio station.
Place where the dead speak.
Rebel Radio!
I'm a fake? Yes. How'd you like to be dead?
You ever think about doing radio?
My team is dead!
But you're not crazy. You're me. And this is just radio.
By the powers vested in me by the Federal Communications Commission, I command you to get on the microphone in a serious manner and continue this broadcast.
All right, here we are.
So I just looked to see the last time it was episode 220, Floam versus GAC.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ. I had to open up my lungs to
Yeah, I
get
got
ready for this.
Little
Squint.
shot of albuterol, get your show started.
Yeah, we got Squints from the Sandlot here.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Michael Squints Pomodoros.
All right.
Wendy Peppercorn.
Yeah, but he made out with the hot blonde.
Wendy Peppercorn.
What was
Was
that,
she
Heather
blonde?
Grant?
Yeah,
Yes.
she was blonde,
yeah.
wasn't she?
I'll
No, wait, was it?
I think it was Heather Graham.
No,
idea.
that
I don't
definitely
think
wasn't
so,
Heather
no.
Graham.
I'm not even looking it up. I don't care.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. No,
I'm
not-
pretty confident it wasn't, so I'm not going to look it up.
Did you
because of
watch
that.
Glow?
Hell yeah, I watched Glow.
The
What was
fucking
the
kid
shit?
from The Sandlot as a
Yeah,
grown-up
yeah.
child. He just
The world's
He looks-
biggest child.
he looks exactly the same, just wrinkly.
Which one?
So creepy.
The kid who said you're killing
Hamilton.
me, Smalls.
Yeah, Hamilton
Yeah.
Porter.
He's been in a
Oh.
few commercials,
The
too.
ham. The great Hambino.
I was thinking of that kid from Mighty Ducks. The one that got arrested for breaking and entering.
yeah.
He hit the
Who's
wall.
that?
Oh,
The big dude, the goalie.
He wasn't in the Sandlot.
Goldberg,
No,
the
yeah,
goalie?
he was in the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, he was in
But-
Mighty Ducks. Yeah. Goldberg.
You could
yeah.
just you
oh,
could just
he is.
12 years old, but with like wrinkles and meth.
Yeah.
He was
kind
the
of looks like.
shittiest fucking goalie.
Yeah.
He was terrible. If he was a goalie on my hockey team, I'd fucking
Oh, he'd get wrecked.
I'd have to pull the coach's side.
The
Be
funny
like,
thing is like that's how
dude.
everybody thinks goalies look, like big like that. They're
no,
not. They're
he's-
smaller
he's
guys.
big and fat
Yeah.
and slow. Stupid asshole.
He was just big so he can cover the whole fucking net. That
They
was
got
it.
that what in the second movie they went to the Olympics. They got the fucking actual Olympic fucking goalie, and she played second string the entire time except for one net.
Yeah.
Julie the Cat Gaffney.
Yes, Jesus.
And now they're
Christ.
bringing back the Mighty Ducks again.
Yeah, I heard that.
Emilio E. signed up for more Mighty Ducks.
Wow. What the hell's he look like now?
Probably like shit, like
Although-
the rest of everyone from the 1990s.
Although fucking Charlie,
I was gonna say his
Charlie
brother's
Sheen
foreshadowed his
for
entire
for
life.
everything that he's fucking done, and he's HIV positive, and he still looks fine.
Tiger Blood.
That's what it is.
That's what keeps him young.
Welcome everybody to episode number 240. 240.
You know what? He actually looks fine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. I'll take your word
He
for
was
it.
born in '62.
You just got a fat
I mean,
head.
I don't know how current it is, but
Well, I mean, him and his
he
brother
looks
have
just
led
like
vastly
he
different
looks
lives.
just like Martin Sheen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like he looks like Martin Sheen did.
He took
At
after his
this age.
dad hardcore.
Oh,
Yeah.
wanna pull it up here. I'm curious now. I want to see. Show the whole class.
Share with the group.
It's got to. I'm not plugged in.
Oh,
there we
for
are.
fuck's sake! Here
You're
we
killing
are.
me, Smalls.
Technical difficulties. Right off the bat.
It's
Classic final episode.
Not, it's not dead radio unless there's an issue.
Yeah.
It's like the gremlins all over this
For
joint.
sure. All right. Okay. Let me see. Emilio.
Emilio.
before we get this going. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He's better looking than his dad.
He looks kind of
He's
like Gary
much
Cole in
younger
that
than
one
his
picture
dad
with
is
the long
now,
hair.
though. I mean,
Oh,
or
yeah,
his-
you're
Well,
right.
no,
obviously,
his
yeah.
dad now. I mean, like
Yeah.
back then. Like I think.
it
Oh,
looks
I
like-
don't know because how old is he?
Looks like Chaz.
He was born in
Bono that picture.
1962, and I don't know how.
So that would make him 48.
Oof.
1962 would make him 48.
Nope, 58.
That one that's in
60.
behind, like on the right
No, it'd be
there,
fo-
looks like a
it'd be
really shitty
50,
Ryan
right?
Gosling too.
Oh,
48.
Ryan Gosling that like fell off the
What are
wagon.
we doing?
Right, fell,
What's
literally
wrong?
fell.
Is it
like, fell off the wagon
2010?
and literally fell off the wagon.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hold on.
I just like there's two
62,
conversations going.
38,
Yes.
48, 58. He's 58.
All right.
Do we really?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Are we really that burnt out where we have to do
Here's
the
Ah,
a
it's
good
bad,
podcast
it's
for
bad,
you
it's really
falling
bad.
off the radar movie actors.
Oh, there's so there'd be a lot. There'd be a lot. I'd have to do a lot of research.
This is going to be an
You know what?
interesting
And
show.
the thing
Jesus.
would be, it would be like a good rabbit hole. It'd be like, oh, people also search for. It'd be like, oh, here we go. We haven't seen this person in a while.
Man.
So we had in like already classic Dead Radio fashion. We had one technical difficulty. We had guests cancel on us, and then we had other guests to come in. So that worked out well.
Well, there would have
So
been
everything's-
6 people in here, too,
Yeah.
so that would have been annoying.
It would have been annoying, but I think it would have been fine. I really wanted to talk about astrology, but
I didn't, so
I
at least we get to miss that. Yeah, I'll try some.
Mother dick.
So we have super fan Adam number 2 at the head of the table, but not necessarily the head of the table.
Tip.
I'll
It's
do
the tip
this.
of the
I'll do
table.
this just to kind of.
And
part of
time
the group.
travel expert Mike Bleakley.
Yo.
And at the Adams. Was it the Christmas party? What party that you had?
Your solstice,
Solstice
party.
party. I
Solstice
don't celebrate
party.
Christmas.
The solstice party. And you and Mike was saying, why the fuck am I the expert on fucking time travel? And then I can't remember the conversation exactly, but I said something strange like, well, I mean, like, who else is going to tell me the blah, 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 blah of such and such? And you were like, actually, it's this. And I'm like, see?
Yeah.
You fucking idiot.
Meanwhile, yeah, all this talent in my head, and what do I do for a living?
Yeah. This guy's
I'm gonna start drinking.
This guy's popping off fucking Sandlot and Mighty Ducks charactars over here. So we got the right crew. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah,
We'll
but
be
I
fine
just
for our
I
last
just
show.
shot my load on the whole thing for tonight. That's all apparently that's all I know. Like
So we start at 6:30. We're gonna be done at midnight.
So
Did you see the new Terminator?
Yeah, it sucked.
I liked it.
It had its pros and its cons.
The
but
first 5 minutes is the best part.
That was it. The
Yeah, that's
beginning.
the best part.
The CGI, the de-aging of all those two were
Fucking insane.
phenomenal. I actually thought they brought Edward Furlong back, or they shot like scenes with him years ago
like-
and then redid it.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
wow.
pulled
Like-
old stuff or something.
Yeah.
But HD didn't exist back then, so
Yeah.
Well, you got these deep fake things, man.
Yeah.
They're scary
Oh,
as
yeah,
hell,
the-
man.
this is like that, but a times $10 million.
well, with a $10
Yeah.
million budget for sure.
And it's also
for sure.
James Cameron back in the loop, so he's kind of throwing his CGI
hat in the ring.
Yeah, pretty much. He's just saying, no, that looks like shit. Let's do it again.
Yeah, he won't stand for. I mean, all the CGI in that movie was pretty well done. I
Oh
think.
yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like the direction of the storyline, but
I didn't like the reboot where they're like, or the reimagining.
well,
where
he
they
had,
had-
do you care?
Yeah.
What?
Spoilers.
No. I'll
Yeah,
watch it
so
anyway.
I didn't like-
spoilers for anybody for the new Terminator. It's not good enough to worry about. I mean, we're not talking about like Avengers or whatever.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
It's I just didn't like the
yeah.
reimagining. Where
But
they're like,
what
we're doing it over again.
basically what happens is they stop Judgment Day, but then shit happens again with a totally different like Skynet type system.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
completely same thing, just different.
It just
names.
happened in 2030
Oh, all
instead
right.
of 1997.
Yeah.
Well, there you
That was
go.
it. But
Yeah.
done. You just saved yourself about $15.
And John
I was
Connor.
not going
No,
to
yeah.
pay for
Opening
Yeah,
scene
I
of
was
the
gonna say.
movie
Yeah.
is 13-year-old John Connor getting killed by a T-800.
In the chest.
Yeah,
Like,
just
boom.
shotgun to the chest, bang, bang, and then he just walks away.
that. Oh,
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
it was like that was the best part
Yeah.
of the movie.
Oh no.
yeah,
Well, I'll still see it. I want to watch
It's-
Linda
it
Hamilton's
was fun.
haircut.
yeah.
Oh,
it was
the-
fun.
the
It was
Karen
definitely
haircutters.
definitely worth $6 to rent.
The Let Me See the Manager Karen haircut.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh man, boy, did she get shit for that. I guess let's start this show off like we usually start this show off.
When Adam's here. you drinking?
We got a lot of stuff here.
Mike, did you want to start?
Yeah, sure. So I am drinking
Something bubbly.
this vintage 2020 7-Up from the mountains of West Virginia. It's lightly carbonated with a little hint of lemon and lime.
And corn syrup.
Distributed by the Pepsi Corporation.
No.
I'm stuffed.
No.
Is it 7-Up is Pepsi?
Yeah,
That's
so Dr.
Schweppes.
Pepper. So I'm like, yeah, what are those?
Schweppes
Who
Dr.
fucking
Pepper.
cares?
I want to know now.
It says it right on the bottle, I'm sure.
Yes, it does. Dr. Pepper 7-Up. Fuck.
Yeah, it's all right. I will have to admit, I do not like drinking Coke products
Why?
because of Fanta.
Why?
Fanta was created back in.
I smell we're going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, we're going down a rabbit hole on this one.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola. All right,
We already talked about Rotten last week.
All right. During World War II, Coca-Cola was not allowed to be sold or distributed in Europe because of the Germans. So a German Coca-Cola executive went to Brazil or South America, supposedly.
Argentina, probably.
Yeah, one of them.
Most Germans ended up there.
Yeah. And they created a sub soda called Fanta. And then people loved it.
Fanta's a Nazi.
The
Oh wait, no.
German-
Is it a Nazi or is it like the guy? The guy that was in Coca-Cola was happened to be German. And
Well,
they sent him down.
No offense, but pretty much if you were still German in Germany during World War II.
Oh, so he was in Germany.
Yeah. He was a Coca-Cola executive in Germany. I mean, quote me if I'm wrong. Somebody could text me, message me, or shoot me. But supposedly Fanta was created by the Nazi German Coca-Cola company.
Wow.
And then people
That's
loved it.
interesting.
And they just kept going with it. It was their way of getting around shit. I mean, they did it all during like the wars, wars or everything, where they like did side deals of, Russians selling titanium to Americans to make certain type of planes and stuff like that. But whenever I see like Coca-Cola, I just keep thinking, fucking Nazis, man.
You heard it here first. You heard it here, guys. Mike Bleakley says that Fanta are Nazi sympathizers.
This feels like one of those.
My
really
favorite thing is
conspiracy
I
theories.
had
It's not even that.
some friends that were of the Jewish persuasion that were like, I would never drive a Mercedes. And I was like, you fucking drive a Hyundai. You can't afford a Mercedes anyway. Why are we having this conversation?
And not only that, but
They made
Hyundai's
fucking
made in Korea.
airplanes. Like,
Hyundai's made in
come on.
Korea anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, I was like, do you really fucking think that you could? Like, first and foremost, you can't afford it. Second of all, like it fucking like they had a choice in the matter
Seriously,
to
I
make
wouldn't-
fucking tanks and shit.
And I
That's
wouldn't worry
fucking
about
funny.
Mercedes. I'd be more worried about VW.
Yeah.
Volkswagen, people's car, literally
yeah.
coined by Hitler.
And then I was just like, would you drive a Chrysler? And they're like, yeah, why not? Would you drive a Dodge pickup? Yeah, why not? Well, they're all fucking owned by Mercedes, dum-dum.
Used
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
just
anymore.
Dodge,
This
not
was
anymore,
this was back
Oh,
in
okay,
2000
yeah.
and whatever.
Now
Yeah.
it's Chrysler Fiat.
As
sucks.
Hey,
so
I drive a Jeep. It's
as
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's kind of unreliable.
Offshootish.
has anybody seen the Nazi flag hanging down on Raymond Avenue?
Did not
That's
see
right on my
it.
route.
Saw
Where's
the
that?
pictures.
It's right on my route.
So I didn't talk about this last week.
No.
Ah, fuck. So it's behind Hurricane in those apartments.
Okay.
Iron Hurricane?
776.
Really?
Yeah.
It's right there.
The guy-
776 Main Street.
Yeah, he's like at the top.
Give out the address so people can fucking shoot through the
It's,
window.
Yeah,
well, no,
fuck
it's
it,
on.
bro.
They
Fuck
put
pictures.
it out on the news.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Fuck that dude.
it's like on
Yeah.
the top floor apartment. You can see it.
But it's like it's a top floor apartment, and it's like in the window,
Yeah, like, they
like
put a picture up
blanketed
and
over the
everything.
window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if it's still up there. I keep forgetting to check because I don't really give a
Well,
shit
if it
that
is,
much.
there's definitely bullet holes through it.
But and I was asked to join a Facebook group called the Hudson Valley Anti-Fascist Coalition, and I joined for shits and gigs. At first,
Anti-Fatifa.
it's a bunch of it's a bunch of people that I know who are like fucking. They're a bunch of kids from open mic, really, who are like very like
and they don't understand what fascism
rah
is.
rah anti-fascism kind
like
of shit.
like those people would be anti-fascism, but they would also say it should be illegal for him to do that, which is fascism.
Yeah.
It actually, it's not illegal. There's like this.
It's not
weird
illegal
gray
to do
area.
it.
It's
But
the
It's not
thing is,
illegal
the
to
thing-
just
yeah.
display it, but it's illegal to use it in fuck, I can't remember.
during
I
a
read
hate
the
crime,
goddamn. It's
basically.
actually like the freedom of speech
It's like the Hitler
statutes.
or the Sieg Heil thing. It's illegal.
Well, in Germany,
in
yeah,
Germany,
that's-
In Germany,
that's
yeah.
a fucking horse of a different color.
right.
They don't fuck around over
No.
there.
Yeah.
But it's like the statutes of free speech don't apply to hate. So
Well, no, because then that falls into inciting a riot or that kind of thing.
exactly.
But the thing is, if you wanted to have a white nationalist meeting and you got a permit, you got a venue, you could display a Nazi flag there as long as you were
Right.
not telling people to.
These guys are actually these guys are sharp enough to say that, to be like, they're not like let's go fucking beat the shit out of this guy. It's just like, hey, and they've said his name multiple times. I can't remember it, but like, hey, this guy, this is his name. He does this. This is what he does.
Which is
And it's-
doxing, which is illegal.
Is it?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
You can't fucking do that.
Oh yeah,
Boy.
That's completely illegal.
I learned that one.
Wow, that's very interesting.
You can give out the address. You can say there's a Nazi flag in the window. You can't say the guys. Like, if you did that on Twitter, you're banned for life.
Holy shit! They're
Yeah.
doing it all over Facebook.
It's not illegal everywhere, but most states have passed doxing laws.
Wow.
Because that's inciting violence. You're trying to tell people, like, that's like if you get arrested and you can walk into the sheriff's station and say, I would like the name of the officer. They give you the name, then you go to the DMV and you say, I would like to know where this person lives. You fill out a form, you pay a fee, you get that information. That's the Freedom of Information Act. The moment that you go on Facebook and say, I want somebody to go here and beat the shit out of that guy, that's illegal.
Yeah, well,
That's
no one's
inciting
saying
violence.
that.
Yeah.
No one's saying anything about that.
Yeah.
They were just saying, hey, the name of this guy flying this flag is XYZ.
Well, it could be construed
that's all.
that
That
way,
could be
probably.
construed as
So,
doxing.
Yeah, man,
yeah.
you could be construed that
Yeah.
the guy hanging
it's
the
walking
Nazi
a fine
flag
line.
is gonna have is gonna fucking.
But
incite a riot.
what he does in his own apartment is different. But the apartment complex can kick him out if they want,
and that's
which is
where-
going to happen.
Oh yeah, he's.
I mean-
he's gonna get fucking thrown to the curb.
So I
It's
haven't-
been removed after complaints from the Dutchess County Democratic Committee and area leaders.
Oh, okay.
It's hanging
I
it-
thought he
it was
said
hanging until
Aryan.
September 24th. Oh yeah. Sorry.
Even the
Yeah.
Aryans are
So-
like, dude,
That
that's
was
This was
bad
little,
taste.
little much.
this is we're like way behind.
Where
on
is
this.
it? It's
The-
somewhere up
The
there.
flag was hanging until
seen Kyle?
Tuesday,
Is this-
September 24th,
I can't do
in an apartment window on Main Street in Poughkeepsie. So is this a different one?
No, it went back up.
Okay.
It went back up recently.
I think it was last week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It,
it's like-
went back up last
Yeah.
week, and there's been WRV and WPDH picked it up. I think the Mid Hudson News was the first one that actually carried the story.
How sad is it that I got to get my news from WRV and WPDH and I consider it reputable? Where I go to
Yeah,
like
this is
any
so
other website and
The
it
most
always seems like
updated
something
one is
biased.
WRV about this.
Yeah.
Huh?
The most updated one 4 days ago.
Yeah.
I go to the
This is-
Poughkeepsie Journal website and it's like, oh, this person who's played baseball for for this team that hasn't lived in this area for 20 years is coming to visit. It's like, I don't fucking care.
So you know where all this started
Yeah,
from?
so Town of Poughkeepsie Police.
7-Up.
7-Up.
7-Up brought us to Nazis.
So, Town of Poughkeepsie Police Department is strongly against
I was just
any
thinking, I'm like,
symbol
where
or
the hell did
display
this
of hate. However, it's not a violation.
Yeah.
So,
But that's the
but
thing.
anyway, speaking of Nazis, the new Iron Sky movie is the best one ever.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. Don't tell
Yeah,
me.
dude,
I want to see it.
Like fucking
Iron Sky's awesome.
dude, fucking lizard people, Hollow Earth,
Yes.
all kinds of shit.
Yes.
It's so fucking great.
I saw that movie and people were looking at me like, "You really want to watch this?" I went, "Yeah, it's a B movie. This is fucking
the
awesome."
first one was kind of so bad it was good, and then wasn't there another one that was like just bad?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I know there was one where Hitler was riding
Dude,
a
the first
T-Rex.
one
That's
wasn't
this
bad.
one.
That's
Where
the
was
second one.
I?
So there's two.
Yeah,
Yeah. I got to
Okay,
see it.
Yeah,
I gotta-
It's great. It's really great.
I just like the first one where they had
But,
that Sarah Palin lookalike.
Yep. Yeah, she's in it.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
But backing up by HudsonValleyPost.com, if you want to check all that up. All that is WRV, WPDH, The Wolf, all them is like all of their news outlets.
Pretty good.
Just,
I consider them good news outlets too, which is weird.
it's all local shit, and that's
Yeah.
why I use it.
It's
'cause
something that like I
fucking-
am interested in. Like, yeah, I want to know about world news. I'll go to like MSN or CNN or AP or
Yeah.
something. But like local news, you go to like Poughkeepsie Journal or something, and they're just what's that guy the dude that was on The Sopranos that was doing like a canola eating contest over the weekend? That was all over the Poughkeepsie
Was
Journal.
that Bobby Bacala?
Yeah, something like that.
Mm.
That's all they were talking. That's all you saw. Like the person canola eating contest. Like I kind of want to know more important things going on locally.
Shripa, I think it was his last name, Shripa.
Something like that.
Yeah, he was in The Sopranos. He's played Bobby Bacala. He's also a comedian. He's been on PDH a bunch of times.
No, so that's probably why they
Yeah.
went balls to the wall crazy.
So before we get too fucking far,
Oh, yeah.
the goddamn what are you drinking? What are you drinking, Adam number 2?
Dew Claw It's their Sour Me line. It's a blackberry and honeysuckle tea.
Honeysuckle.
It's really good.
I enjoyed
Something
it.
about that word,
It's kind of
honeysuckle.
it's like
It is
sour,
so good,
but
yeah.
it's bordering on goza. Like it's not crazy sour.
Want to smell?
Yeah, I'll smell
You can smell it.
it.
So I'm
It
drinking
doesn't taste. It doesn't taste like it smells.
Prairie Organic Gin,
It's the
and it's pretty
honeysuckle.
damn good for a $35 bottle of gin.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just drinking it on the rocks.
hold on. I've had that before. I haven't had it in a while,
Yeah,
so it's like I can't remember. So
it seems like the $35 range is the
just a little
is kind of
nippy.
the butter zone for very good gin, because they go 30. $30 is not great. 35 to 40 is usually really, really good. And then there's like nothing between 40 and 60. Do you want more than that?
No, that's it.
Okay.
That's all I want.
You're trying to hide it. I don't give a shit.
Wow.
Fuck it.
Yeah, at this point.
What are you gonna do? Kick you off YouTube?
Yeah, you can get fired from your job at a coffee shop.
If anything, I'll get a promotion. Yeah, it's solid.
Smooth.
It's a solid gin. It's
I have a script.
yeah, it's a little.
I'm doing sound bites by myself over here. Ooh, that's smooth. That tastes wonderful. Smooth. Hold on, wait.
Damn, that's a lot better than I remember it.
It's just good.
I can really taste the sage in there.
I probably wouldn't want to put this in tonic.
They put they find a way to put sage in there,
Mhm.
and sometimes it's just like this is fine, but it's right on the edge of too much.
Yeah, I almost got one that had like basil in it.
Basil and gin.
Yeah,
I've had that.
Yeah,
I've had
Basil
a.
is
It's
really
a
good with
that was why I felt like we drank it on the show.
we did. It was
Yeah.
it was a Mediterranean gin.
Yep.
Ah,
And what
It had
makes it
basil and something
Mediterranean
else
is
in it.
like fucking basil and whatnot. So.
Dude, they're just coming up with all different types of concoctions for liquor now.
Yeah.
Dude, gin is, but that's the thing. Gin is has this like, it's this big like comeuppance, I guess, for gin craft
Like-
gin makers now.
like
No
these
kidding.
too,
Yeah.
like sour beers.
Yeah, sour beers are like really popular
They're
right
getting
now
it.
because
Yeah,
and
and
gozes
also I
and
think
stuff.
a lot of people are realizing that vodka is for people that don't like liquor.
Yes, it's like it's just
I'll
a
agree.
neutral taste.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get like that Redka fucking Icelandic vodka. It's like $32 for a handle. It's great. It's a
Yeah.
really good sipping vodka, but it's because it doesn't taste. It's not. There's no like hard alcohol taste,
It's
and that's
you
why.
get
not meant
more
to be.
you get
It's
more
kinda
out
why-
of
that's
you get
kinda why-
more flavor out of the water that they use to cut it than you do from the alcohol.
Yeah,
Because it's sulfur filtered Icelandic
yeah.
melt water. So that the fucking water that they're using to cut this shit is 10,000 years old.
That's
It's been locked into a glacier. Yeah. So that's what makes that vodka so good.
Yeah, it tastes very.
But I
glacially.
mean, if I'm gonna drink a straight vodka, I like that one. But like Luxusoa, potato vodka,
Yeah.
stuff that has flavor.
I had a sweet potato vodka once that
Yeah?
was very good. Spud, I think.
That
it was
sounds
by
good.
them.
Well, like
Yeah.
you do you do the honey vodka, or you do a sweet potato vodka, or you do some of the sweet potato. Yeah, it does. Like, but if you do one of those, it starts taking on the flavors
Yeah.
of what you distill
Yeah.
it from, and now you're dipping your toe in the fucking gin
Yeah.
area.
Right.
Well, the reason that like potato vodka is it's a common misconception that it's made out of potatoes.
No.
Potatoes really don't have fermentable sugars. You have to add all kinds of enzymes and shit like that.
Oh,
It's-
really?
Yeah, potatoes.
I didn't know.
Potatoes
is it
got
like
a
a
real
filler?
Potatoes got a real bad rap. No, it's for flavor.
Really?
Yeah, and it's also enzymes that the yeast can eat. So you're adding potatoes to grain, right, to fill it out. And also, you don't have to when you're fermenting, you don't have to sprout the grain.
Oh,
You remember?
shit.
You
I think of all these times that people have gotten me potato vodka because it's gluten free.
Yeah.
It's potatoes.
And then you're like,
Yeah.
vodka.
Because
Well, all
it's-
vodka's gluten-free.
It's gluten free anyway,
Yeah.
but like they're if
Yeah, you
if
look
that
at-
wasn't the case, they'd be secretly killing me.
Well,
and
most
they'd
of
be killing
'em-
me and they wouldn't know.
most of
Not a clue.
in the
Yeah, but won't
U.S.
the
you're
alcohol
not,
burn it off?
You're not required to list your grain bill for gins, vodkas, any clear liquor. You are for bourbon, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Bourbon and rye are really the only two ones. Like if you're going to call it a rye, it has to be 51% rye. If you're going to call it a bourbon, it has to be 51% corn. But everything else that's more TTB. That's labeling. That's not like a law.
Yeah.
That's
why gins, like some gins you
gin-
read,
a
like some
gin-
give you all the stuff that they use,
some
and
give you
some are
nothing.
really fucking vague about it.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
a hand-selected blend of herbs,
Botanicals and-
herbs and botanicals, yeah.
Then there's other ones that are like it's a list of
Yeah.
21 different ones.
It's
and
like rose
what
hip,
is that?
mace, juniper, lemongrass, your mother's underwear, fucking like just like all this fucking shit, and like, but you know, now I think people are realizing that because you have that, because if you can make a craft gin and people are going to enjoy it, you can use all these crazy ass flavors and create your own signature.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
like-
it's a big thing with the whole craft. Like we just had craft beer revolution is kind of on the downswing. I think we're going to see a lot less new breweries popping up.
There's
gonna level
already
off.
100 in this area.
It's
now.
so there's so many.
But
We're like the
but
booze
craft
capital of New York
distillery
again.
thing is going to be what comes next.
Yeah.
And most of these places, they're what was the expression? The guy at not at Reka. What the fuck was the name of that one?
Ooh, look at the little bottle.
Nope, that's
Imverk. I don't fucking. One of the distilleries I went to. Vor. That one. Yep. So that guy, he said that distilleries are built on friends, family, and fools. So you borrow all of this fucking money,
shit.
and then you're just supported by the people who are willing to drink your shit while they're waiting 4 years for your bourbon to be done.
Sounds like the show.
So he's like the only yeah, exactly. He goes, the only reason we ever made gin,
Dead Radio Distilling.
the only reason we ever made gin was so that we could put out a product within the first year.
Oh shit.
Because he's like, I guess the story with them is they own like you know robots that weld cars together,
Yeah.
shit like that. They manufacture all the software that makes those robots work.
They took our
Yeah. So they made like their first still. They fucking built it, and it's digital. It does everything on it. You just pour the ingredients in, and it does it all automatically.
Oh my god! So it's like an easy bake oven for
Sort of, yeah. Yeah, and he's like, then we moved on to this one, which is like $2 million. But yeah, that's the whole point, is that you're
It's like more
offering
automated.
something that you can make a profit on in the first 6 months that's not vodka. Because like if you're going to make some cheapo vodka, I mean, you have to stand out or you're never going to fucking make it.
Yeah, it has to be unique, and that's what
Well,
gin,
it's gotta
that's
be
what
in a-
gin
Yeah.
allows you to do.
There's
I just came back from Montreal. I've talked about it on the show real quick. They're they're booming with craft gin right now, and they got like blue gin and yellow gin, and they use
Food coloring?
The yellow one is chamomile
Oh, no shit.
because if they soak it long enough, it
So it's the
gets
opposite of a
stuff.
Red Bull and vodka, basically.
yeah, it
It's
looks
like,
fucking like
drink
it looks,
this, you're gonna fall asleep.
It looks like just
Or
a
it'll bring you up.
It looks like
Yeah.
a bottle of piss.
Probably
like piss, like after a B12 vitamin. You know?
yeah, I
know
really.
exactly
and
what
like-
you mean,
If
yeah.
I wasn't
Like-
on the wagon already, I'd really want to fall off
like
to drink that
a
shit.
night of drinking, and then you take a B12, but you instead of drinking water with the B12, you drink the rest of your beer with the B12.
I've taken
and what
B12
you piss immediately after that.
It's
that's what it looks
electric
like.
Nuclear.
yellow.
Yeah, yeah.
Like electric
Yeah.
You know
yellow.
how many times I've gone
Like
to get a
Mountain
piss
Dew.
test and they look at
Imagine
me like,
somebody putting that down and you're like, here, try that.
Yeah, drink this.
No,
It
really,
was-
it's good.
It was really good.
Yeah.
it looks like it came from Medicus.
And there's this other one called Blue Royale. They use pea berry and it turns it blue. And I'm talking
No.
like fucking Star Trek, like Romulan ale, fucking blue. I don't know what I'm saying.
There
I don't-
is-
Romulan
when
ale.
I don't know.
when
The-
on the Fifth Element, when she gets shot and then she like that blue comes out of her.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
there is
Like one of those.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, right.
I'll tell you
How often have you practiced
I
that?
used to sing along to it. I love that movie. I don't care
there
how
is
fucking bad it is.
a
I know it's
certain
great.
there is a certain sprinkle that goes on ice cream that when you eat it, it turns your poop blue, like purple blue. And I don't remember where I got it from. It might have been Weir's or it might have been Joe's Dairy Bar, but I just noticed it one day and I went, "Huh, I should see a doctor." And then I went, "No, it's probably the ice cream I had the night before." And then I figured it out.
Yeah.
It's like
Reminds
the
me of the
McFlurry.
first time I took Pepto Bismol, like as an adult.
Holy shit.
Just turns your tongue and your shit black.
Yeah, that's kind of scary.
fucking
It's
thing.
very
Oh,
scary. I
right.
thought I was dying.
I gotta open my birthday present.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
A
open
month
that
month
shit.
late.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, Punk's Tawny
I
Bosch.
had a really like low key birthday this year. I just really wanted just fucking to do. Whoa, look
Look
at
at
this
that.
fucking fancy motherfucker. Oh shit, this is some
sexy
gourmet shit. Barcelona.
Barcelona. That is why I got it.
Gin raw gastronomic gin. The fuck is that?
Isn't they all
Crafted with
technically
botanicals
gastronomic?
Distilled at a
Yeah.
low temperature. Adam, what does distilling at a low temperature do?
That means they heat the wort to 173 point whatever it would be in Celsius in Barcelona.
I'm never not gonna laugh at that.
So
I'm
it's
gonna be
you
taking
do
my
it,
last
you
breath
do
on my
it much.
deathbed and go.
So normally, when you heat up a still, you're heating it up to like 200 degrees or whatever, and you want to keep the vapor in the reflux tower below 212, because as soon as you get into 212, now water is actually coming through.
Oh shit. Okay.
But the lower you keep the temperature, the higher quality the product will be.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Where'd you
That's
get that?
some quality
Yeah,
looking.
where did you
Around the
get
corner.
This is
Booze.
fucking
oh,
nuts.
south side.
Oh yeah, is it true they actually upped the hours for liquor
Yes,
stores now?
till 9 o'clock.
I remember doing that years ago, where all the liquor stores used to close like 7 o'clock around here. I'd have to go
Laurel
across
Across
the
the river.
to Highland,
All right.
Yeah.
So
and I'm like running in, and you just tell all these people are like, yeah, you from across the river.
check this out. So they say fresh lemon and citron peel. I
Citron-
say kaffir lime. Yeah, kaffir lime.
Kafifi.
And laurel leaves, smoky black cardamom, coriander seeds, ... So that might be all of it.
Is it booze, or are
Well,
you
they
having an herbal
they didn't
tea?
list juniper in there, did they?
Fucking- No, they didn't.
Yeah, so there has to be juniper in it, or it's not gin.
What the fuck is this? It's a little scary to open.
That is
Yeah, it's a pretty weird looking bottle.
butt plug.
I don't know if I need to pull it off or screw
Twist.
it off.
Probably on.
That's what she said.
Okay, it's a screw.
I had to.
This
I
is
like
so weird, man. Look at
That's
that.
I know.
a
It's
coaster.
metal,
That's a
and
UFO
it's-
coaster.
It's a piece of wood.
You put that on your car.
Everybody's like
intrigued.
staring at me.
I'm
in
intrigued, though.
I'm kind. Yeah, I'm.
Yeah.
I'm slightly interested.
Here, everybody.
I'll smell it.
Well, I need.
Everybody.
glass.
There's 2 glasses there.
You can
Uh-oh.
keep me out of that one. Sorry.
You're not having it?
You're not, right?
You don't? Okay.
It's
been a while.
I'll take the cleaner.
That's why I brought the 7-Up.
Why don't you look at these when you take them out of the dishwasher?
Because I just don't care.
Is that why?
I
there-
know they went through the dishwasher. They're fine.
Is that why there's a pube floating in mine? That's probably mine.
Or the
Alright.
dogs.
Dogs. Yeah, it's the dogs.
And then after that, we have
Dog's
to do
puke.
a shot of this HSE rum.
Fucking garbage from
birthday.
Martinique.
Well,
birthday. Belated
sure.
birthday.
Happy.
Happy
Yeah, it's a
belated
dead
birthday.
radio. How about that?
There you go.
Dead radio.
To the dead of the dead. Oh, that's tomorrow. Tomorrow's Fat Tuesday.
Oh yeah, bitch.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's what I like in a gin.
It's hits and then it's smooth.
Yeah.
Oh.
I want it. I want teeth. That's good though. That's really good. Yeah, it's like
Imagine you had a leaf of basil with that.
it like bites you a little bit
Yeah.
and then it smooths out.
Just
this is really good.
hang it out in there a little bit. Oof.
Wow, this is great. I
That's
love
really
this.
good.
I'm so
It's
out
almost
of
like
the
a
booze
gin
loop.
and tonic.
So out of
It's
booze
the
It's
loop.
lime.
like the whole gin and tonic.
Well, because
taste
a
of it.
lot of
I'm just trying to make it
gins they use for their citrus. They
Pinky
use
up.
lemon, which I don't like. I like when a gin, and they're very rare, but they use the kaffir lime is getting to be a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But lime, I had one that had grapefruit in it. That was awesome. From Vale Fox.
What about
They're
even-
not out yet, but they're starting to distribute.
Oh, yeah, the
So
one-
I mean, I know it's
guys,
not
yeah.
the best, but like Hendrix uses cucumber more than anything.
and that's also why anyone who goes, "Can I get a Hendrix gin and tonic?" I'm like, "You're stupid and have too much money."
Yeah,
I don't like Hendrix gin.
yeah, that's what. But I mean, I'm
But
just saying.
if you're
it's
gonna
like,
drink
that's a different
Hendrix,
thing. Yeah.
2 cubes done.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a twist, maybe. But if you mix it with tonic, it just tastes like tonic.
Mm-hmm.
This I would go a splash of tonic. That I would
Jesus
never
Christ.
ever mix with anything ever.
Are you drunk already?
Yeah, I'm a fucking lightweight, man. I can't handle this shit.
Well, you better
I
slow
had a
down
beer
because I
before
brought
you
some.
got here. I didn't realize the fucking onslaught that it was.
Dude, what do you think was going to happen?
We're gonna have a sober final show. Fucking idiot.
That's why I brought.
Like I brought
cans
That's
of
why I
gins
brought
that
my party supplies.
Yeah, I brought gin so that I wouldn't have to get up and pee so much.
I brought this so I
Yeah,
wouldn't
like-
have to remember.
Get some
The
cider,
Vermont.
some Cedre.
Ooh, fun. Shaxbury. Oh my god.
I don't know if we've had that one on here or not, but
I don't think so either. God, we got a lot to do.
And
I could write a list of all the things.
Ay, ay, ay.
Graft cider again.
It's like my birthday all over again. That's what everybody brought
Well, we
me.
didn't have a birthday.
Just
We didn't
booze.
have a birthday show for you this year.
Yeah.
I got one, and you didn't. So
Wow.
Sorry, I didn't bring a cake. I was at 7-Eleven or whatever it's called now.
yeah, they
Gulf.
don't have gluten-free cake there.
Goddamn gluten-free bullshit.
That place has turned into a bodega.
What's
Where?
that?
turned into.
The
7-Eleven.
it used to be somewhat okay back in the day, but now you walk in and you're like, I'm gonna get shot.
Yeah.
I
Well,
literally never go there.
when
I go there
the-
for gas.
We're
but I
talking
never
about
actually
the
go
one
in
on
the
Hooker
fucking
and South
place.
Grand, right?
Right in the corner. Right in the corner.
Yeah.
That place is gone.
That one.
Ghetto
There's
superstar.
like after 8 o'clock, there is a police officer parked in the parking lot all
Is it?
night.
Well,
Did I
it's-
tell you did I
yeah.
tell you the story how I witnessed a shooting at the Sunoco
Yeah.
on Main Street?
Yeah, you talked about it on the
You've all
show
seen guys
shooting.
heard
like
this?
5 years ago.
Yeah. Brooke and I were we're at like I tell this story now and I'm like, I don't know. Anyway,
It's like I bartend sometimes.
I know.
we're at the Sunoco on Main Street next to
Yeah.
the KFC.
Oh yeah, I
across
know.
from La Cabanita.
Oh yeah.
So
La Cabanita.
this was like this was a
Cabanita.
long fucking time ago, probably 5-6 years ago, and even
It was
longer.
about 5 years ago.
Did I debut it on the
you've
show?
talked about it on the show for sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
if you
I've
told
heard
me
it
that.
once
Yeah.
before.
It was
I
a
remember
long
this.
time ago.
Vaguely.
But in any case, that doesn't matter. Well, it does. I didn't.
No,
wanna fuck
I
up-
remember
I
what-
don't wanna
I
fuck
remember
with
what
the
it was.
Businesses that are around there.
I
by
remember what it
telling the
was. There was a shooting on College Avenue, right? And it was that week.
Okay.
And we talked about that, and then you
Yeah,
talked
okay,
about
okay,
it. So
okay.
that had happened maybe a couple.
I
So
mean,
we're
that
talking
doesn't
7
look,
years
it's
ago.
Poughkeepsie is shooting at College Avenue.
Yeah, that's par for the
But it was
course.
like 2
Oh, wait,
months after.
College
I-
Avenue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that
had
was-
moved here.
Yeah.
And I had just moved out of the
Holy
College
shit.
Avenue house, and my neighbor, like right next door to the house I lived
That's right.
in, was a drug dealer, and somebody tried to rob him. And it would have been right. It would have been the exact time of the morning that I would have been walking the dog in the front yard.
All right, I got my head straight now because these two things happened within like a week.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
like
yeah.
really fucking nerve wracking. So the first one was at the Sunoco, I think, and we're at the Sunoco. Brooke gets out of. She was driving. She gets out of the car, pump the gas, and then I hear her just pop, 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 pop. I'm probably getting that count wrong, but and then all of a sudden I see this dude come out of that fucking what is that, North Grand Avenue area,
By the car
and
wash,
then
yeah.
and then like run down the street and cut into another area. I was just like, what the fuck? And Brooke was like, were those gunshots? I'm like, let's go. We gotta go. Let's go. She had like she had not yet put the fucking thing.
it
I'm
is-
like,
just a
button it
dribble.
up.
Done.
We're leaving. Button it up. We're going. So she like just put the shit away, got in the car, and we drove to. She's like, what I need gas. I'm like, yeah. Let's go to 7-Eleven where they're not shooting at people.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go to
And we
Did
went
you
and
call
cra-
the cops?
Nah.
No?
There was, dude, there was so many people outside the car. Like,
Yeah,
people were like all
that's-
over the street. It was fucking nuts. And then the following, like, within the next week or two, we're just sitting. It was in the middle of the summer. Brooke and I are sitting on our couch. And this was when we lived on College Avenue. And we had the porch door open. And we hear pop, pop. Or I think it was 3 shots. Pop, pop, pop. Real fast. And then I run out to the deck, and I see this dude running across College Avenue into, like, toward Hooker Avenue. Like, through people's, like, yards and shit.
They don't
We called the
care.
cops then.
Yeah.
Then we
Yeah.
definitely called the cops.
They gotta.
But, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and then
That
we
was
talked
fucking
about it a
nuts.
while later on the
Yeah.
show. Because if you were still living in that house, that would have been right when I moved, and you guys were still in the old house. This is 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
Damn.
Fucking
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
I've seen all that weird shit. Working EMS.
I don't know why the fuck I got on this. Why did I get on
I
this?
have no idea.
I don't remember.
The 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven,
Ghetto,
yeah, yeah.
Getting ghetto superstar.
So-
I pulled in, and that's one of the few times. Like, not to say that we live in a very, what's the word, safe area, even where I live.
I'm just hearing
But-
ghetto superstar in my head right now. That's all.
Ghetto superstar. Yeah,
but,
that's the soundtrack to your story right now.
but typically, I'll just, if I'm going to like the gas station or something, I'll leave my car running
Uh huh.
when I go in.
Never.
But now, whenever I go in there, I turn it
Never.
off.
I fucking
I lock the
lock
doors.
my
I
fucking
hit the
doors.
alarm.
I always have.
I make sure my
see-
phone is hidden.
Oh shit.
See, I don't
was
have to
that?
do any of that because mine is a 30-year-old standard transmission truck.
I think about saying
And-
Yeah, but still,
No
I mean,
one's
there's
board.
No one's stealing that shit.
No one. I mean,
yeah. Yes.
yeah. I guess we don't care about the copyright strike.
No, not anymore.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and
I
ODB
would
was
say
in this too.
I would say one
ODB,
in, at this point, one
Braz
in
and
5.
Maya, right?
At this point, I'm gonna.
There's just
I
two
don't know.
things going
I
on.
don't
He's
care about
telling
the music.
story now.
I would say less than. I would be willing to bet less than 1 in 5 people can drive stick.
Oh
nowadays.
yeah, man.
And they're all over 30.
I can
you drive stick?
barely drive stick. only
How do
because-
we say this? 50%. I am a master at.
So you could like
first
steal.
and
You could like
second and
steal a
reverse.
truck.
I
Yeah.
could steal. I could steal
After
your
that,
truck.
it's just all shit because what I do is I
Actually,
have to
you'd
move
probably be pretty good at
cars.
hot wiring a truck.
Right.
Like, park
Hang
a
on
lot
a
of
It's not that
second.
hard.
Hang on a second. Could I steal your truck without your keys? Like pop start it? No, I couldn't do that.
Oh well, you couldn't pop start it. You
Brooke?
well, there's no
Steering lock?
there's no steering lock
Oh, okay.
because it's a 90.
Yeah.
So there's no steering lock. So you could, I mean, literally, if you took a hammer and a screwdriver and jammed it in the ignition and then put vice grips on it, you might be able to break it to the point where it would start. But it's serious 3 wires under the dash. Like you could definitely,
Get me a pen.
yeah. I mean, like
Hold on, hang on.
I've only
3
hot wired.
wires.
Yeah. Well,
Which
you have to
3
think it's just it's a power, a ground, accessory, and start.
Oh yeah, they didn't have. It
And
doesn't have
on.
an airbag in there either.
No.
So you have to worry
So,
about hitting the airbag.
I remember when we were doing cash for clunkers. I used to have to hotwire
yeah,
cars.
yeah,
I used to have to hotwire cars all the time, like 10 times I did it, because we would need to move a car and the keys would get lost because there were 700 cars on the lot. And
Am I
the
allowed to talk
Daryl,
about all that shit that I got?
huh?
Am I allowed to talk about all that shit I got?
From what? Cash for
Cash for
clunkers?
clunkers?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's way so first and foremost, it's
Intrigued.
way past the statute of limitations for theft.
Okay.
So you're fine.
Okay.
Basically, you'd be charged for stealing shit from the junkyard that contracted with the dealership that I assume you're talking about where your father works. So the way Cash for Clunkers
No.
worked
It was from you.
from me?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I
you
stole a
remember?
bunch of shit.
Oh,
yeah.
look at it be all
Yeah,
quick.
that's fine.
It was from you.
Yeah,
You-
I don't remember giving you anything.
Oh, you got me a lot of stuff.
I didn't pay for gas. I didn't pay for gas for 2 years.
Holy shit, dude!
Damn.
I got a new set of tires and wheels.
Yeah.
Brand new fucking wheels. And
Yeah.
with,
Oh, I
like,
remember that, yeah.
Brand new tires. The fucking ink
Holy
was still on them.
Fuck.
Yeah. People
I thought
would
you were gonna
trade-
be like, oh,
Yeah.
I found like a
He
bag
called
of
me
That's
weed.
right. I called you
or,
up. It was your
or look, somebody left a $20
His portable
bill.
CD
Yeah,
player.
It was
no, he's
your
like, I got
uh,
fucking wheels, man.
Chevy.
They were fucking Michelin's too. I remember
Oh,
it.
they're
yeah,
good
it
shit,
was,
man.
you had
That's
the
the
fucking
heroin
Great White
stuff.
Hope at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the 1996 Blazer.
Michelin, the heroin of tires.
I called it the Great White Hope. And he calls me up. He goes, "Yo, what fucking year is your car?" And I'm like, I tell him, he's just like, "I think these wheels will fit." And then we like compared.
Mhm.
I'm like, he's just like, they're like off the fucking lot.
Like brand new.
The rims
Oh.
and the tires were like mint, and
Yeah.
I was just like, "I'll be right over."
Yeah, because a tire is like $100 minimum.
I took a mirror
Minimum.
because my fucking side mirror was
Yep.
broken, so I fixed my side mirror. I like got like a lot of little pieces, like windshield wipers. This car was like off the lot.
When you go to the boneyard, you
I
picked
go
that
to the
fucker
boneyard.
So the
man.
way that the way
Yeah.
that the Cash for Clunkers thing now, for those that don't know, because some of you were like any Vassar students listening right now, you were 4 when this happened.
Yeah.
But what it was under the
It was
Obama
brilliant.
it was under the Obama
I don't
administration,
know.
and
I don't know.
basically what they would do is
First one.
I don't know.
they
the-
would
no- the
you
numbers.
trade in your car, and they gave you $3,500 for it as long as it was a car that got less than 16 miles to the gallon and was at least 10 years old. Right.
Oh, so that's easy.
So part of the problem is there were so many cars that just got sucked into this program that fucking shouldn't have, and people were doing it to like a dude traded in. It was like a 94, 93 square body Cherokee, 2-door, 5-speed, inline 6. I was like, dude, I would have given you $4,000 for that truck,
Yeah.
rot free.
Oh.
And this is like 2004, 2005. I was like, I would have given you $5,000 for that truck. Why the fuck did you do this? And now I have to blow up a motor that was probably going to run for another 300,000 miles.
I wonder how many Chevy Corsicas got into that program.
There was a lot of junk. It was a lot of old rotten trucks. A lot of like T-Birds and stuff like that. But like blowing up a early 90s Thunderbird, I'm like,
yeah. It's got a V8 in it, right?
That fucking 5-liter block would fit in any Mustang, any Bronco, any F-150.
It'll fit in a Miata.
And what we were doing was it was theft.
Oh yeah, I mean just
Under that
so
happens,
under the law, the way that they did it was that the dealership it had to be a dealership. The dealership would take in the car. We would give the customer $3,500, and then the government they reimbursed us the money, and it was to get all these old junk cars off the road. Now in New York, kind of makes sense. California doesn't make any fucking sense.
No,
because all those cars are perfectly good, and it's not like they're putting a lot of miles on them. You know what I mean?
They just sit in traffic all day.
But California's been doing this shit for like 30 years.
Yeah.
So what we would do is we would take silicone, like glycerin something material. You drain the oil out, you'd pour that shit in there, and then because we were trying to save time, you'd pour that shit in there and then whip out of the garage and try and get it back down to the lot before it'd blow up, because otherwise you needed to push it, right? Because that's the flaw in this system. You need to drain the oil out, then blow it up, then you're supposed to move it.
Yeah.
So we would whip it down into the lot after we fucking stripped it of everything that we could steal. Like we took stereos, fucking I had in my Tacoma I had like a fucking DVD player with a screen, shit like that. And gas especially. Yeah. We just drilled a hole in the side of the gas tank and siphoned them. I didn't pay for gas for 2 fucking years.
So
we went from fucking civilized society to Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome within the span of like a phone call.
Just walk away.
I got a
Nobody
bunch of free
needs to see
shit
this.
you can steal.
I guarantee.
I'll keep right over.
I guarantee. I know how you're feeling. Like every day was probably like, what are we getting today?
Oh,
what are we gonna get today?
so
what are we gonna get today?
And the best part about it,
the
best part about it was
for the next phone call. I got more shit.
The best part about it was the
steal.
government
Terrible.
paid
Awful.
an hour labor to do this.
It took you like
so
10 minutes.
You're
not
doing
even.
an oil change basically. So you could spend 20 minutes going through the car. You'd be amazed at like if you're fairly, willing to actually go through a car, how much change you find in used cars.
Oh yeah.
How much just stuff people. This watch right here is from a Cash for Clunkers car.
No shit.
I'm dead fucking serious. This is a Honda Accord. Yeah. All I had, it sat for years, and I just replaced the band and cleaned it up and put a battery in it. But this is over 10 years later. It's a Timex. It's a Timex TX Pro. TX.
It's an Omega.
Timex TX. This was like a $300 watch.
Yeah.
Back in the early 2000s.
I'm
still wearing it. I have yak tracks.
Yes.
Those things that you put over your boots. I got 3 sets of those.
Yeah.
Because people would put them in with like their spare tire and like their emergency kit.
Oh, those.
Road flares and shit. All kinds of stuff. But yeah, and another funny thing, you realize like what engines are pieces of shit versus others. We had a Thunderbird with a 5-liter V8 in it. Started up, drove it down the lot. That fucker ran until it ran out of gas.
Really?
With no oil in it. None.
They got balls.
It ran. It was still running when I left for the day.
There's a
5-liter bottom end, especially in a Thunderbird because it's a 4-bolt main from a truck.
Those things are beasts.
Yeah.
There is a big car auction place across the river near Stewart Airport. I know you ever heard of it, Mannheim.
Yeah.
I know a couple people who work there, and they deal with. It's all used, but a lot of those are repo cars.
Yeah.
They just come in as is condition, and these people.
Yeah, and it was basically stolen from the driveway in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So it's got all their CDs,
all their
shit.
So I'm not naming names, and thankfully these people don't know that I'm doing this or anything. They were telling me I got my girlfriend a Michael Kors bag this weekend. Quotes.
Allegedly.
And I'm like, so was there money in that Michael Kors bag? Like money, wallet, lipstick, ID, credit cards, and I'm going, don't tell me this. I was like, I'm happy if I find a couple quarters in a car. I found an ID once. I found an unknown pill that I had to kind of like do an ID on, and I just found out it was like
When
a
I walked in
laxative.
the other day.
But these people are talking about like thousands of dollars of shit that's in the cars, and they just throw them away, and they have to throw them away.
Yeah,
they
they
can't
can't
keep them, but these
Yeah.
people
I feel
keep
like
them.
ooh,
Yeah.
I feel like we've waited the last show till we finally fucking fucked up.
What do you mean?
And
Like we're gonna
now
get in
we're
trouble?
gonna get arrested.
No, it's fine. It's
What?
really
Now
not
I'm
a big
scared.
deal.
Did you?
No,
I could
especially
go on a
because
high tail if you
especially
want to get
because
arrested.
the only
or not.
way,
I feel
like I said,
something happened.
the statute of limitations on petty theft.
Like he halted the show. Like he's
Yeah.
like, wait, I figure. I'm like, wait, what's going on here? And you're like, oh,
So,
yeah, it's just the
I'm
realization.
The thing is,
that's
it's
all.
whoever the person that we're stealing from at that point over 15 years ago almost.
Oh yeah. No,
Over
no,
15 years ago. The person that we were
I'm just
stealing
fucking around.
from, basically, like, we're not like stealing from the government because the government didn't want any of that crap. It was just going to the wrecking yard that was going to part out all
Yeah,
the
yeah,
cars.
yeah.
Because the thing was, they were allowed to use body parts, suspension parts, tires. They were allowed to resell all of that. So basically, we didn't own the cars. They contracted with us, and then the government allowed them to take the cars in exchange for being able to part them out. So that company didn't actually pay anything for any of these cars. They might have had to pay some sort of a stipend to the government per vehicle or
probably,
something
yeah.
like that, like maybe scrap value or,
Right,
or
yeah.
whatever.
So it's like Goodwill
but
for cars.
they seriously, these places were purchasing like giant fuel tanks to siphon all the gas. What do you?
Oh, Siri.
Did
Thank
they
you,
fucking-
Siri.
What's
Did
going
anyone
on?
say Siri?
I don't know.
Sorry, my phone does that when I just randomly I'll hear my phone go bloop bloop, and I went, Google, I didn't say shit. It's the commercial.
Brooke is mean.
When I go like this, all
Yeah.
of a sudden,
Brooke can be a little.
Oh yeah.
Brooke can be a little mean to Alexa sometimes. And
She hears
see?
you. She hears you.
She hears me. Like she's yelling.
Did you hear the Burt Kreischer bit?
Oh no.
Burt Kreischer in his special has a bit about this.
What?
How his whole family was like, "Dad, we need to talk to you about how you're talking to Alexa."
Oh yeah. Yes, I saw that one. He
Oh,
does.
yeah?
Yeah.
If you say like please.
Oh fuck! I'm gonna sound like I'm ripping him off.
No, it's. I'm sure a lot of people have that.
Yeah. If you
It's
say
just
please
kinda-
or thank you to like Alexa or Google, they actually say thank you for saying blah 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 or my pleasure.
She
they actually
gets fucking
reword it
mad
differently.
at it. I'm like, hey computer, thanks.
Yeah.
Like shit like that. And well, I call it. I drew the line at calling it Alexa.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
computer to remind everyone that it is a computer.
And see, every time you say that, I
We
keep
need
thinking
it.
of Scotty from Star Trek.
Yeah.
Hello,
Computer.
computer. Computer.
I'm like, but you got to be nice to the computer because when it rises up, I don't want it to kill you because it's definitely
What
not
is
going to
this
kill
thing?
me because I say please and thank you all
Exactly.
the time.
Star Trek
But you
4.
know what? This little motherfucker started saying, "Have a good
With the
day,
whales.
Brooke." She asked it the weather
Yeah.
this morning, and says like, "Have a nice day, Brooke." And I'm like, "What the fuck?
It's killing her with kindness.
I'm the one that's nice to it.
It's killing her with
What
kindness.
is it? Like, it's bullshit. It's
That thing's
fucking
gonna
bullshit.
grow arms and just
Don't
stand
worry,
above you while
that's a
you're
totally
sleeping.
different bit than Burt Kreischer's thing.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, because his goes into like he realizes that he gets meaner with it when he's drunk.
Daddy, you're verbally abusing
But
Alexa.
they're like,
I fucking yell
they're
at
like,
her. I
"Dad."
go, "Stop! It's so mean. It's gonna fucking. It's gonna get razor blades one day. It's just gonna upload razor.
It's gonna
blades
order
one
razor
day.
blades from Amazon.
Yeah.
It's gonna order. Yeah, it's gonna order its own razor blades from Amazon. It's gonna get bad. We've all seen the movies. No one wants to fucking abide by it.
Oh, that's another B movie I gotta think of. This thing called Pulse, where it was like electricity had like a mind of its own and started killing
Yes.
people. Is that what I think it was with
Haven't
Pulse
seen
or
it.
something
I
like that?
remember that one.
Years ago. Like,
I got a
like
good one though.
early
when
90s.
we want to get into what we're doing after this show's over, like creatively,
Oh, do you want to talk about that?
we can.
Turn. Well, yeah, right.
All right.
That's the
Wow, this.
I got put on the spot. I'm like, what?
Well, no, you had
Scandinavian
I thought you had a
sour
good
ale.
idea.
Brewed with lingonberries, hawthorn berries, cloudberries.
Come on.
What the fuck's a cloudberry?
One more. There's no 4 berries.
No,
Fuck.
It's not a Four Loco 4-berry.
Fuck.
no, because
Every
the
goddamn-
four berry smoothie at Crafted Cup.
God,
When
yeah.
people are like, what 4 berries is it? I'm like, fucking name 4 berries. It's going to be those ones. Be like, first 4 berries off the top of your head.
Like strawberries. Yep,
Strawberry,
That's the one. One more.
Dragonberry.
No.
No,
Strawberry,
that's the first one that comes to
raspberry, blueberry, and what was the other one?
Blackberry.
Blackberry.
All right, I know.
Yeah,
Took it
so
from
it's like the 4 most common berries. So for a month, we were like without Googling, trying to think of other berries. We
Yeah.
got up to like 15. but there's
Loganberry.
three, there's
Yeah,
3
yeah.
on there.
Yeah.
Lingonberry we had.
We had lingonberry right off the
Yeah.
bat. It was mulberry, lingonberry, gooseberry,
Mm-hmm.
snowberry. Fucking. What are some other?
These
what
sound
are
like
some
corn
of them
names.
other
There's
berries?
crowberry now, which I
Crowberry?
learned about in Iceland. And then the other 2
Crow.
that are on there.
Cloudberry. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Were
had
these
a
people
bunch. We
high
sat
when they're
around
naming
there.
these
Boysenberry.
things?
No, we were just bored.
Boysenberry
We were
was
just
one
bored
of
at
them.
work.
Yep. We were just bored at work, but we'd also I started telling customers that. I'd be like, it's boysenberry and lingonberry and snowberry and peaberry, and they're like, what?
You could just
I'm
randomly.
sorry. I just like to try.
Oh,
to,
acai. We thought of acai berry.
acai berry,
You could
yeah.
literally
Acai
just
berry.
name
Wolfberry.
anything as a
Wolfberry.
berry. It's like you just name anything as a berry. Like, yeah, it's turbanberry. What?
There's a
It's good.
very, very interesting story behind that.
Very interesting story.
It's a
I'm
very
sorry?
interesting story.
Isn't that a Captain Crunch thing?
Um,
berry.
Oops, all berries box. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Real quick, I opened Shaxberry
Shaxberry.
cider.
The Vermonter.
The
Shaxberry.
Vermonter, and this is ingredients: Vermont apples, honey, gin botanicals, and that's it. So,
Oh, I was expecting some weird
Gin
berry name.
botanicals.
yeah,
So juniper and whatever the fuck else they feel like,
like
putting in there.
wanna try?
cumberry or something.
I don't have any glasses. This
Oh.
had gin in it, so I guess that works.
yeah, that'll be fun. Say when.
Good. That's good. I have 3 things here.
I got 3 glasses.
How did we get on the berries? Oh, because we started talking about that.
'Cause
Oh,
this
we were
is-
going to
this
talk
is-
about
What is this called? This is
Blood
Nightmare.
Eagle. Nightmare
Blood
Brewing Blood Eagle.
Blood Eagle.
Have any of you heard of what a Blood Eagle is?
No.
Oh yeah, I
I've
know
got
what it
blood
is.
orange.
Do you?
I have a
The
couple of those
Viking
at home.
ritual. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a not confirmed, but yeah, it's in
It's
their writings,
majorly
but it's never
fucked
been
up.
confirmed that it's actually happened.
It was on the show Vikings.
It looks
They
very
did it.
juicy.
Yeah, it's the Blood Eagle, and we're gonna get back to your fucking thing.
No, that's this is
It's
interesting.
really good, but it stinks. Like it smells.
What is that?
like
Oh.
a turd
This is
diaper.
that one.
Like
Oh,
an Indian
the
food diaper.
Yeah.
the four berry
Smells
the
like a
four berry
dirty
smoothie.
diapers filled with Indian food.
Oh yeah,
Smells
it
like
does not smell
Bigfoot's
good.
dick.
So,
We were talking about Anchorman before the show.
oh man,
Quote
yeah.
that movie left, right, and center.
This is worse than the time the raccoon got in the copier.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not gonna
that
lie, that
tastes like a
smells like
Jolly
straight
Rancher.
gasoline.
This?
Stings
Oh,
the
that?
nostrils.
No, this.
That? Oh, I love it. I think it's amazing.
You guys are literally going back and forth between different types of glasses right now. It's hilarious.
It tastes like when you put a Jolly Rancher in a Zima in the 90s.
These two are going to get shit faced, and it's going to be us hosting by the end of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
night.
By the end of it,
They're going to be passed out like right there.
you guys just
Surprise! Here's a new host of Dead Radio Podcast.
We're the Undead Radio.
Yeah.
The
just
real,
hit the space
Risen
bar
from the dead radio.
and then click end stream, and then click the button.
fuck that. I'm going to keep this thing streaming to you guys just like pantsed on the floor the whole night. 8 hours nonstop.
But
Oh God, I gotta
yeah.
work
So
tomorrow.
Shaxberry the
Same here.
Vermonter. You can go when you
It's
want, man.
tasty, but it's just seems very sweet to me.
Live your life, man.
The only reason I got
gotta
this was
go, you gotta go.
because Chad over at Thrifty highly recommended it because I guess you can't. It's not really like on the market here. He got
Yeah.
it somehow special, but
Oh, cool.
I would listen to a podcast called Morbid, and it's basically about like true crime and stuff like that. But they also They dove in one episode of torture methods.
Oh,
And
boy.
They talked about this.
buddy.
I listened to it. I'm like, sounds interesting.
Getting
So what is
Watched
it?
the video.
Get-
I don't know what
Alright,
it
so-
is.
Getting a peek into your psyche.
Yeah. So basically, what it is, it's a ritualistic sacrifice to the god Odin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guy's leaning over like this, or he's in a like prone position. Slice open the back from top to bottom.
He's telling it way better than I could.
Oh, I've heard of this.
Pull the skin back, and
Yeah.
then literally, this is what it looks like right here.
Yeah.
I've
And
heard
there's
of
a
that
hatchet
shit.
taken, and they hack away at your ribs, pull your ribs away from your spine, pull your lungs out, and then hang them up over you like this. Hence the blood eagle. Looks like you have
Wow.
wings.
That's fucking
some
crazy.
violent shit.
Yeah.
That's
And
some
they,
gnarly
it's,
stuff.
But like I said, it hasn't been confirmed that actually happened. But it's in a lot of writings. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I couldn't tell you the name of the
eventually become
book, but Joe Rogan was talking about it. I'm sure just with a fairly easy Google search you could figure it out. But this guy, it's written by a Native American, and he died in the 1930s, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he was fucking there when like Custer died.
Yeah.
Right. People think that it was so fucking long ago,
No.
but that's 2 people ago. That's only 150 years ago.
The way Joe Rogan explains
Yeah,
that shit.
2 people ago.
2 people
Yeah.
ago.
He's like,
That
3
is
people
amazing.
ago, Christopher Columbus came over here and gave a bunch of people smallpox.
Yeah, pretty much.
But he was saying how in the book he describes the first time he scalped someone, and it was like a white man during some battle, and he was saying how he could hear him gritting his teeth as he was cutting his scalp off. So I need to read that fucking book.
That's that right there. That'll get you. The teeth gritting part, like he just feels it.
Not the
Yeah.
pulling back. The
He said he
skin.
could feel and hear him gritting his teeth as he did it.
I think it was on. They did it in Vikings, and I think that show was actually pretty good for the first like couple
the Blood
seasons.
Eagle?
Have yet to see that episode.
Yeah,
I'm gonna binge the fuck out of that soon, though.
yeah. It's pretty good. The first few seasons, it's really.
I heard
kinda,
it's like I
fallen
haven't
off.
watched it, but I heard it's like Game of Thrones without all the sex and whatnot.
It's I don't know. It
Like
was
a made-for-TV Game of Thrones
It was
kind of.
it's on the History Channel, so it's basically they use as
It's
much.
fairly historically accurate from what I've heard.
Yeah, so they talk of it. The way they have depicted it and everything is a little strange. Like they kind of, I don't know, they veered it off.
Well, the last time we
lately.
talked about it was when I got back from Iceland with the Floki stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Floki Distilling Company is the one I was talking about before.
Mm.
And it's
Well-
named after...
Not Vor.
No, it's... Well, that's the name of
I
that
know, yeah.
that
Yeah,
bottle.
yeah.
So, but
in
it's,
any
yeah,
case,
Floki Distilling Company.
all the stuff, at least like the places they've traveled and certain things that they've done are historically accurate. And I say historically accurate because it's from Viking text. And for some reason, Viking text is kind of like...
It's like a mix between what really happened
Yeah,
and stories.
it's blown up. It's like 300. You know,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
the storyteller of 300. And he's
Little too far.
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
well,
he
the,
just-
the one that I thought was fucking crazy because it's proven that Vikings were the first
Wow.
white men in the New World. Obviously, there were people here,
yeah.
but they were the first ones to cross an ocean to get here, not
Yeah.
the land bridge.
They got.
But they seriously,
archaeology is done,
they
is
like
crazy.
they
I got an
lost a
interesting story.
dude.
archaeology?
He went out sailing. He was gone for like a month and a half, and they're like, probably should have been back by now. Let's go look for him. And he shows up with all these grapes. And he's like, yeah, so I went 2,000 miles that way,
Oh.
and I found this place. I'm calling it Vineland. That's fucking
Dude.
Canada.
Oh, I got a story.
He
to tell
sailed
you.
from Greenland to Canada. That's over.
himself.
It's 1,100 miles
By himself.
By himself.
Yeah.
In a boat
In a boat.
that could fit in his fucking room.
Probably,
Yeah.
Um,
That's the other thing in the show. What were you gonna say?
no. Keep going. No,
In the show, they build the boats. They're so low to the fucking, like they're only like 2 feet off the fucking water.
Which
what is it,
probably wasn't really
keelers
the
or
case.
yards?
I don't know.
or
You
something
ever
like
watch that show
Nah, I would
with
say
Jeremy
2 feet.
Wade?
Maybe I'm like exaggerating, but they're
Yeah.
really close.
You ever
Considering
see the
like
boats
a
that they're in?
battleship or
There's
whatever.
like on
Or,
that River Monsters.
Yeah.
Like some of the native
tiny
boats that they
fucking hut.
have that they cut out of. Did I
It's
just
just
hear?
barges.
I just heard your voice in here and I didn't see your mouth move. That was
Might
weird.
have been me.
Maybe. I heard like.
I've
anyway,
crossed over.
but that's the thing. It's like those boats are so low. I'm like, how is it that you want to stand up and fish in this fucking thing?
I'm neither here nor there.
See, I didn't hear your voice that time.
Well, I mean, I can
just
make that
kidding.
happen too. It's not plugged in.
Oh.
What'd you do?
No, all my cords are never where they're supposed to be.
That's what she
Not
said.
in the right
Blame
spot.
her for that.
Well, I
She's
don't know-
just
I don't even
cleaning
know
up
where my
your
aux
shit.
cord
It's
is.
right up there.
That's what
Sorry,
she
man.
said.
No,
That's what
this
he
is the
said.
camera aux cord. There's a different one.
How Oxford.
Now it's on the floor. No, this is my headphone cord.
It's right there. I'm telling you, it's on your
Yes,
phone.
I understand that, but none of this is plugged in. This is my camera aux
Yeah,
cord.
so plug it in.
I plug in my computer to where?
To the fucking thing.
Okay.
Plug your
Don't get
computer
mad
into
at
the
me.
computer.
Connector. Yeah, I'm sorry, but
Marital
Yeah.
fight.
I think I took that off actually.
All right.
Now that I'm thinking of it, I think I did.
I gotta tell you this one. A couple years
Because I wasn't sure what to do with it.
Adam just brought up a good point about the Vikings being the first white men to come to America, and he mentioned Vineland. A couple years ago, they found a Viking settlement in Stony Point, Grand Rockland County.
Yeah.
They were.
I believe it.
They were.
Imagine if you just showed up here and then your boat fucking sank in the
Yeah.
middle of the night. Now you just live here.
But
I mean,
Or
but they
imagine
found,
traveling
like,
to
they found,
1,300
like,
miles.
writings and
Yeah.
everything, and they actually read the term Vineland, not Vineland. Vineland was they didn't quite know what Vineland was before this discovery, and then they found text saying Vineland, and there was like little maps of the Hudson River and everything. So they kind of put two and two together, and they finally figured out Vineland is America.
it's 2,200 miles from Greenland to fucking
Just a guy in a boat.
Yeah.
Beat that, Greta Thunberg.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, they were.
Didn't she like sail by herself or something?
Holy shit, you guys! All right, God, we can't just fucking.
You know,
gloss
you know,
this
we
chick
need, like-
over.
I thought about after about the fourth or fifth fucking rabbit hole we went down.
Well-
I wanted to
Well,
start
but
just taking a
another
tangent.
one with this thing is
I know, it happens. I
this
just go
just
into
kind of
tangents.
sparked the memory of
She's
it.
an environmental
Like
activist.
Is,
that's, we started talking
I
about
know.
that.
I'm
and we
trying.
got the
I'm like I
Nazis.
brought it
Yeah.
up.
No, I agree with what she said. She just like she sailed somewhere by herself for like thousands of miles or something, and that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, yeah, this guy did it in a boat that was probably made out of.
I don't think it was just him. I think it was probably him, a small crew, his wife, like shit like that.
a couple dogs to eat.
But yeah, so the
Not a good
advantage
idea,
of like the reason that they probably really did it was not because of grapes, it's because of hardwood. There's no hardwood in
There's no
Greenland
hardwood,
or Iceland.
Really?
No.
All their boats were made
Yeah.
of birch and pine.
No shit.
Yeah.
Well, that was
so you
another
hit
thing.
one rock, whole boat sinks. You're done.
Then you show up.
But
in
there would be
Canada.
oak in Canada.
Well, that was the thing.
Yeah.
I listened to another one that talks about the hell is it? Like ancient traditions and like folklore and whatnot, and that was a big thing in like those Scandinavian countries and like further north. There is no hardwood.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people wonder like why it is that I forget what the hell they were talking about, but it's because there's no hardwood. There's no they level an area and make as many houses out of whatever wood
Yeah.
they could find.
Yeah.
But
Well, there was a term in Iceland that I had heard, whereas if you get lost in the woods
Disney.
in Iceland, just stand up. Seriously, dude, we didn't see a tree taller than 8 feet
No way.
the whole time. There's no woods.
Mm-hmm.
It's just nothing.
It's scary.
And
so
Iceland's
they-
the one
It's
that's
like a
supposed to be like
wasteland.
nice.
So they
too.
were
Yeah.
building ships out of slats of wood this long. That's all they had.
not
Christ.
in Mighty Ducks too,
Yeah.
though. Not in Mighty Ducks too, though.
No.
Oh no.
We're back on Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, look, fucking Iceland was
I'm
the
sorry.
badass
I
team.
yeah,
brought
that's
it
right.
Full circle. I brought
That's
it full
right.
circle.
There was
This
like some.
fucking guy's born for this shit.
I forgot. I was like, Iceland Mighty Ducks too. Oh yeah, they got an enforcer from Iceland or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iceland. Yeah, coach.
Oh my god.
Greenland is full of ice, and Iceland is very nice.
I remember that line now. The hot blonde.
I can contribute.
I'm part of the team.
How the fuck did we get here? Oh yeah. We got to talk about this idea.
Oh.
In the like,
So I've talked about this previously.
you've talked about a podcast talking about podcast
Yeah.
ideas.
So okay.
Well, you
so
get-
here
you
I have,
gave me the
I have a,
genesis
yeah,
for
I have a
this.
couple.
I'll give you
I have a
credit.
couple of ideas. One of them is a podcast where we just talk about podcasts that we're never going to make.
Oh, that's
So
easy.
it would just be like a podcast about whether or not Marty McFly is gay.
We'll just backlog
Right.
240
Or-
I'm trying to
episodes of
find
this.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a
Guarantee you
sounder
could talk
for
about that for a
this,
half hour.
for like
Yeah.
your
At
show.
least.
Yeah, I just
Maybe
I
not
don't
even
know.
that
Like
long.
one
It
on
could
the
be a
fly.
15-minute.
The one that I think that would be a really
Sorry.
no.
Thank you, Shania.
So
Shania, I was gonna say.
the idea that I had was it's called The Worst Movie I've Never Seen.
That
Right?
was what you told me.
Yeah.
That was the genesis for this idea.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that if you had a podcast, it'd be a monthly podcast. You'd find something that just came out on like Amazon Prime or Netflix that looks fucking terrible, and you watch
That's
a
easy.
preview. So the first episode of this show, the very first episode. Do you want to play it? No.
No, I don't.
The first episode of this show would be 5 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
You'd watch a preview for the movie that you're going to talk about the following month, right?
Yeah.
So a month later, you come out with the episode. Your audience has had a chance to listen. Obviously, nobody's going to listen to the first couple episodes. That's fine.
No, it's
So
gonna-
then
it's
you
gonna be
talk.
like these present
Yeah.
company. And that's
So you
about
talk
it.
about you talk about the
5 years
movie.
later, here we are.
You talk about the movie for however long, 45 minutes, an hour, until you're done, and then you play the preview for the next movie that you're going to talk about the following month, so your audience can go back
Has
and
time
check
to
it
fucking
out.
watch the fucking show.
Yeah, so they'll check out this movie, and then they can follow along with the conversation, and then you could do special episodes where you did commentary,
Like a
wi-
Patreon.
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah. Like if
Yeah.
you like, you could have your
bonus
Patreon.
kinda
You could have your
stuff or whatever.
Patreon deal where it would just be like, okay, so we're gonna put out this episode. It's only available on Patreon. You cannot get it on iTunes. You cannot get it anywhere else. Where we're gonna watch this movie and talk over it the whole fucking time. So you'll sync up the movie in your living room,
And if you
and
pay,
listen
I
to the
will be
show.
fully clothed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. So
Yes,
I have
more will be
so
partially
I have the
Half
first
naked through the
I have
whole
the first
YouTube.
movie for this ready to go.
Okay.
No, it's called Tammy and the T-Rex.
That's such a
I'm
that's a
subscribing
porn
already.
right there.
No, it's called Tammy and the T-Rex, and it stars Paul Walker
What?
from The Fast and the Furious
Dead or alive?
and
Hopefully.
Denise Richards
Uh,
from Wild Things and many other hilarious
Dead or
movies.
alive?
Fucking people are just making
Just-
B movies
no.
just to fucking make them.
There are children in this movie. This movie is from
Oh,
1990 or
yeah.
something like that.
Oh my god.
So the
gotta
premise
start
of the
somewhere
movie,
and-
the
Alright,
premise
child
of the
actor.
movie is that a mad scientist puts Paul Walker's brain into a robotic Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Dude, I love this movie already.
So we're gonna watch a preview.
I
Can you
love
pull
this
me up
movie.
over here?
Yes, I can.
you want to see?
Yes,
I gotta see this shit show clusterfuck.
So this is currently on Netflix, and I've
haven't
watched
done this
5
in a
minutes
while.
of it.
We haven't done this in a while.
Yeah, since like Kung Fury.
Oh god, that's awesome. That's precious.
This is when we start getting messages like, "You guys are really watching fucking trailers on the internet."
Everything in Tammy's life is just great. But when you're young
that's Denise
and in
Richards.
love,
Oh my
life can
God.
get very complicated, especially when it involves an insanely jealous creep.
That's my lady, all right?
Was that Ducky from
Late
Sweet
night
16?
phone calls.
Maybe.
16
I
Candles?
want you to come over.
She wants you to
Sneaking around in your own house.
What's happening?
Did you lock the door?
Don't worry.
Your boyfriend getting dumped in a wild animal park.
What? Just got attacked by a lion.
Can't be real.
Well, that's it.
Who turns out to be a mad scientist
Jean-Claude
If
Van
you're going to
Damme.
make an omelet, you have to break a few eggs, right?
Oh my God! Is it?
with an insane invention that only needs a brain. But this Tyrannosaurus Rex just wants
What
to be
is
a
happening?
party animal.
Oh my god.
Just the amount of money that they spent on this, and no one has ever seen it.
Even when you tell the truth, nobody believes it anymore.
It was a dinosaur.
Is that Molly Ringwald?
It was
No,
Molly
that was
Ringwald.
not
It
Molly.
looked
That
an
was
awful
not
lot like
Molly
something.
Ringwald.
We're on the brink of something special. We are going to be immortalized.
He's from fucking what's it called? Yeah, he's
Thinking
from.
it's Robert Blake.
You gone crazy.
No, he looks like
Oh,
And
look, the
that's
token black
Hollywood
guy.
from Mannequin.
That's the
Yeah, that's
Carnotaur.
Paulie from
truck being driven by your fat guy about 5 years
Sopranos, isn't it?
Byron? Yes, sir. I see a couple of folks back
No,
in the
hold on.
hospital. They say he stole it. The dinosaur.
What is happening? What is going on?
There's so many
That's Paul
token
Walker
black
created
guys
a dinosaur.
Yeah, that's he's from Sopranos.
No
Isn't he?
shit.
As an American Gladiator, what is happening?
Oh my
He's
god!
riding the dinosaur.
To show you the whole movie.
Pretty bubble text.
Right? That's a pretty good
That can't be
choice.
fucking real.
I also I know of a movie where a sofa
cancel.
is a murderer.
That's not fucking real.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
It's definitely real. It's on Netflix. It's
Or
a
you think-
2-hour movie.
Is it a sofa
Like
or a
I
bed?
skipped through it because there's no preview on Netflix.
Wait, did they really? The production company is called Vinegar Syndrome.
Wait.
Hold on.
Oh, look at this. This
That's
is
the
like
high def.
high definition version.
Wow.
You can see he's really what the.
It's from
Blu-ray.
'93.
He's wearing a cutoff.
Wow, it looks a lot
It is
better.
It looks a lot better, yeah.
Yeah, it's a shitty movie that looks a lot better.
Whoa!
That wasn't in the trailer.
Oh
that
my-
wasn't in the original trailer.
Was
that
that Pedro?
It was
That
Pedro.
wasn't
Whoa,
in the original
whoa,
trailer.
play that part back. Play
Was
that part
that
back.
That was definitely Pedro.
No, just
wasn't
go
it?
back like 5 seconds. I don't care about that. Just Denise Richard. Yeah, that. That's the good stuff.
What is happening?
We're watching.
And there's a
Denise
T
Richard-
Rex just watching her dance out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
This
And
is so.
That looks like. Oh my god! With the little hand.
He's waving.
That know what that dinosaur looks like?
He's flipping him off. Go back.
Oh, he just vomited guts.
He walks
He's
by.
making a phone call.
No, go back, Adam. Go back.
Go
like-
back to what?
Go back.
No,
10
don't
seconds.
go back
maybe.
to anything.
No, keep going.
We
Go
have
back
to-
a little further.
We have to trudge along. That was Danzig. We have to keep going.
He's literally walking by, going like this.
Giving the.
Yeah.
Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
I need to watch this. Sober.
Yeah.
Oh, the fake blood. And he chops his head off.
Oh God.
My God.
Wow.
I don't know what's
yeah,
happening
so you
right
can
now.
get it. You can get it on Blu-ray.
It's-
Yeah.
What?
Jesus Christ.
Right?
Vinegar
That's a good one.
Syndrome. That's the name of the production company. Vinegar Syndrome.
I mean, I think
so-
the. I think
So
the,
anyway, I do have a review by proxy for Velocipaster, which I talked about last week. Even Joe said it was terrible. And Joe loves those fucking movies. This is a movie about a pastor that can turn into a velociraptor for some reason.
I saw the trailer. It was.
Have you ever seen
it was
Thanksgiving?
engaging.
Have you ever seen Thanksgiving?
No.
I saw the trailer for that one. That was funny.
I actually
I do have
watched
to
it.
pee, so I'll be
I
back.
do too. Yeah.
I think we should all take a break.
Yeah.
Let's take a break.
Okay.
Let's take a break. Let's. Jesus Christ, we're here with Mike Bleakley and Adam number 2. There's no need to be professional anymore, is there?
Well, you can use my last name too if you want. It's not number 2.
What are we playing here?
Oh, God.
What do you want to? What do you want to hear?
I mean, it's got to be Shadow Witch.
Okay.
Right.
Let's find some Shadow Witch. So, you sure you don't want to do any Frank
Sure.
or Logan?
Let's do Frank or Logan. I don't care.
I'm gonna do Logan.
I'm not going to listen to
I'm
it.
gonna do Logan.
You do Logan.
Frogan McGinnis.
Yeah, there you go. So we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back.
Look on me now. Those eyes mesmerize deep pools of blue. I'm bathed and baptized. The apostles kiss your feet, but my lips burn on your skin. So what now of me? My Savior died so long ago. But as you lay try to start to mend the heart, only to cover what lit the dark. All our love now filled with hate. So much cause to hesitate. Beat me down at every turn. If at all, what have I learned? No tune the strings and the sound brings all the finer joyful things. Oh, strum the chords and paint a force. All you could ever ask for. All I love now shapes my fate. So much cause to take the stage. Beat my fears at every turn. If at all. Time heals wounds. I now know that truth. Beauty can be so abused, but I found strength in you. All I love now shapes my fate. So much cause to take the stage.
I'm Nick,
I'm Sean,
and I swear to God we have a drummer. We're Pitch Black Sunrise.
and this is Dead Radio Podcast.
No, I know.
Yeah.
The guy in there was from True Blood.
Oh, I never watched that show.
I had to. Peter, yeah, I had to watch. Alexander Skarsgård.
Yep.
Apparently, Adam had to watch True Blood.
Oh, you had to? You were forced to by gunpoint or by blackmail?
I was forced to with sex.
No, it was a white female.
I watched one
Broke this fucking thing on here.
quarter
Oh, yeah, I
of
broke
one
my face today,
episode
too.
of that show and said, nope, and peace the fuck out. Fuck that show.
I was enticed with
I was
sex to
like,
watch that show.
what is
and
this?
it worked.
Suck it.
I'm like, this
Yeah,
is
just-
Days of Our Lives. I'm not watching this
Never
shit.
fucking had any interest in it.
It
This
was,
coming from the guy who watches like, you know, RuPaul's Drag
Kid
Race.
shows.
But
Yeah.
Here's the funny thing.
So
The
so
first
if
Kid
Bosch
shows,
had
really?
a
Do you
TiVo,
have Paw Patrol
if-
on the back
okay.
of your phone right now?
So if TiVo,
Whoa,
if
okay.
TiVo were still a thing, his fucking TiVo box would have no idea what to do because it would be like fucking Star Wars cartoon shows and RuPaul's Drag Race and the Great British Baking Show. And they're like, I don't know what kind of gay you are, but it's definitely some kind.
And then there's like The Conjuring and
Yeah.
fucking gore movies, and then Caddyshack.
It would
heard
be
that
like
bit?
it would be like the wife really likes the Great British Baking Show, and the husband really likes all these horror movies.
Do you ever
So
see
they're
Patton Oswalt's
yeah,
bit
yeah,
about that?
King,
Yeah.
King of Queens.
Yeah, no,
That-
Patton Oswalt.
yeah, Patton Oswalt wrote that into.
He
did it.
did?
He did
Okay.
it in his stand-up
Yeah.
special, and then they wrote it into the King of Queens.
No way.
Whereas TiVo thought he was gay.
No. Well,
Yeah.
the one in his stand-up is just like like I watched The Man from Laramie, a great western, whatever, and then overnight TiVo went ape shit and just like it's got like all these different kid shows like Uncle Farty's thing or whatever else, and the one common theme was that every show had a horse in it, and he's like, "No, TiVo, no, but you like the horses.
Yeah,
You're a liar."
So in King of Queens, he's like showing the girl that he's kind of trying to hit on, like, so I got this TiVo thing. It's pretty cool. It's like blah blah blah. And he was like, yeah. So I recorded the hockey game last night, and then this other thing and whatever. And he's like, men's ice skating. And then he's like, TiVo thinks I'm gay. And he starts recording like strongman contests and like professional wrestling, and then it just gets worse.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Oh God.
Yeah, I have a wide variety that I pick from. My new thing is the what the fuck is the name of it?
That's a good
British home cooking challenge or something like that.
I recently met a woman that is like half obsessed with the British cooking.
Oh, I
shows.
fucking love that shit. That's
Like
great.
she went on about this because I mentioned I like British television, like IT Crowd and shit like that, and I forgot the other one, but she's like, oh, I watched the
Top Gear. I like Top
But I'm also
Top Gear, yeah.
But I'm also finishing season 2 of Monty Python's Flying Circus. So
It is dead. It is not alive. Thump thump. It has ceased to exist.
I haven't watched that since the 90s.
I actually started
love
laughing
Monty
to
Python.
myself thinking about the very first episode where it's Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, and it's who's the fucking tall guy? God damn it,
Salieri.
Lincoln.
I can't remember his name.
John Wilkes Booth.
Cleese, John Cleese.
Oh, I thought you were talking
And
Why
I
cocaine?
didn't know he was tall.
he is, he's super. He's real tall. Well, I mean, compared to the rest of the guys, but it doesn't matter. But he's sitting at the piano and he's playing, and he's got this fucking powdered wig on and this thing, and he turns to the camera and he's just got this gap tooth, where like I don't even think he needed. They just put it in. He
They
had
just
a gap
added it in
tooth
for a little-
because he was German, and all Germans have just a little gap tooth in the center. Like it was just. I lost my fucking mind laughing, and then we just been watching episodes. Some of them are like kind of like whatever, yeah, like that, but not as gummy.
Mine's from sucking my thumb. Apparently.
Really?
Yeah, I had bad.
Yeah, I'm not tolerating that shit when I have kids.
Like
My,
it was.
uh,
I'm not having kids. So
my
I'm not worried about that
dad-
shit.
My
Me
dad,
neither.
My dad
Oh,
like
shit,
has.
that's too late.
My dad has told me about that. He said he was like very strict with the two of us because when he was a kid, he sucked his thumb so bad that they had to like repair, like he had nerve damage or some
Really?
shit in his, or a ligament or something. He tore something in his
Damn.
thumb. They had to repair it when he was like, I don't know, like a little kid. But yeah, so he was like a freak about.
Yeah, as soon
not
as a child
letting us-
understands English, you take that fucking shit away. No thumb sucking. You get the fucking binky for a while.
That's
it.
about it. And then
That's
you're
where
on
I
your
lucked
own.
out with Caden. He didn't.
Yeah.
He just had maybe sucked a pacifier for maybe 25 minutes total.
Yeah, I feel like
That's
that. I feel like that kid's just gonna be like a normal adult human being at 5. You know what I
Like
mean?
an
Because he
old
just
soul.
he just
Yeah.
seems like he knows what's going on already. I haven't seen him in a while, but yeah,
Yeah, he's
shaking a little bit. Like
no. I'm like he's right. He's just like my son is just the. I mean, not like I don't want to say like super advanced, but I feel like he knows so much more than he actually can.
It's creepy
express.
because
Yeah.
Avery's about
Avery.
the same age.
He's like almost a year older.
Is he?
Yeah.
That much older?
Yeah, he was.
Jesus.
Well, he was December the
Katie's
year
fucking
before.
huge.
Yeah, he is.
But yeah, like you tell him stuff, and he's just like you can see the reaction in
Yeah.
his face, like I don't want to fucking do that.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
like it's weird how he can comprehend shit, and you're like,
Well,
oh
it's-
shit, they actually kind of know
Well, like,
what's going on.
Yeah, like the
but
same thing.
not,
I'll tell
you know.
I'll tell him. I was like, go find mom. Go find mom. He can't say he knows mama. He knows dad. I said, go give this to mom. I'll hand this to him. He goes, brings it to Kristen.
It's like, bring mom this beer.
Have mom give me another beer.
Give,
Oh, no,
give
it's the
mom
other
this
way. I was gonna
empty
say it's the other
beer
way around.
and tell her I need another.
Oh,
Take this empty, put it in the recycling bin,
Too
open
bad I had
the
the fridge on top, not the bottom. I could have probably taught him that.
Like those
Oh, yeah,
dogs on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly.
Look what I did with my kid. Nice. Indentured servitude.
Yeah, I love those like the videos of the dog where the guy goes, and the dog comes running, takes the empty, puts it in the recycling, goes to the fridge, gets him another one.
If I did that on the table, Eisen would start barking, and fucking Alistair would just come over and sit there and wag his tail,
Yeah.
staring at me like I had something.
Brooke would yell,
I
"You
can't
stop doing that!"
I can't imagine having a
Stop
smart
teaching
dog.
them.
I don't think I've ever had a smart dog, but maybe it's my fault.
I mean, I did well.
It's
yeah,
my fault.
I mean, yeah, probably.
It has to be.
But no, I think there's like an
6 one way,
innate
half
because
I don't
like,
have a. I'm so,
my
I don't have a
first
golden
dog,
Labrador.
like my first dog was a lab, and they did no training, and he was just allowed to do whatever he wanted. He could leave. He would leave for hours and hours and hours on end. We had no idea where he was, but it was the 90s, so nobody cared.
He's rolling for
We had
bitches.
an
No,
Irish
he
setter
was
just
going.
like that.
He was going to neighbors' houses and getting treats. Like there were people that we didn't know that the dog knew.
We
Yeah.
Daily
at my,
routine.
at my parents' house. We during Halloween, my mom said there were people that come to the front door. Murphy, we didn't know you lived here. Like my dad was up at the deli, like 2
Yeah.
houses up from us. Like the dog is looking through there, going, like there's steam blowing on the
Yeah.
window
You
from
just
him
got that
watching.
look of soon.
Is that
But
is that
you know,
your
and
dog?
then we had Bailey, who was very, very, very smart. Like it was a fucking problem.
Yeah.
you could like if you locked him in a bedroom, he'd be able to open the door. I don't know how he did it,
That dog was a little wiser beyond his years, way beyond
but
his years.
you know, then we have Buckley, and he's smart, but he's super neurotic.
Yeah.
Like today, it was nice out, so he wanted to enjoy how nice it was outside, and not shit. He just wanted to enjoy how nice it was outside, and then when I left, he shit in the fucking house. And then I told you about Clint with the skateboard. Clint's never seen a person on a skateboard that has trick wheels on it. Right? So he's seen me on the skateboard a million times with these big rubber fucking longboard wheels.
Zooming around like
but
a
then
hipster.
TJ, now at Skate 405,
Where I got this shirt from.
he's going down the sidewalk, and he's got the hard wheels on his skateboard, and it's going clack clack clack.
Yeah, it's making
clack.
like a different noise.
It freaked him the fuck out. He took off to the end of his leash and then turned around, looked me dead in the eye, and then started trying to get his head out from the collar so he could leave. Had I not tightened his collar like on the way to the groomer, like he would have left. He would have been gone.
Your dog hates skateboarders.
It was just like, I don't know what that noise is, but I need to fucking get away from it.
To be fair to Clint Eastwood, the Marty McFly version,
Yeah.
TJ
Mr. Eastwood.
TJ's coming in hot
Yeah.
when he's on his skateboard on the
Yeah, he was
sidewalk.
moving.
I
This was
would
right in
say.
front of Crafted Cup.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
like fucking flies in.
He just books it.
He's like, and then he kicks it up real fast, real violent, and then and then calmly walks in and has a polite conversation with all the baristas.
Yeah, because he let out all his anger on the board.
He's such a nice fella.
So
like
yeah,
that
I think
dickhead that
I think
parks in his
Clint's I
brown
think
truck in
Clint's
the middle
kind
of
of
Raymond
stupid,
Avenue.
but he's like a pit bull. So he's like pit bull stupid, where it's kind of cute, you know.
Well, they're like, I don't know. I got like Eisen is mostly pug and pit bull. Pit bull, pug, and cocker spaniel. So he's like a fucking neurotic
Yeah,
mess.
he's all over the place.
Already. But
He barks with
and-
me
and-
leaving, barks with me coming in the
like
door.
it's partially my fault
Yeah.
because we were really strict with him, and Alistair is a fucking terror because I
You
got
weren't.
a fucking bad soft spot for him.
So it's like kid 1, kid 2.
Yeah.
The first kid is all the rules. The second
not
one,
like
you're a
I-
little laxed.
Well, I also think
not
that
like I don't love
the time
Eisen.
of
I just
year
love
that you get
Alistair
them,
a little bit more.
I'll
the
take
time
Eisen.
the time of year that you get them, I think has a big part of it too.
Absolutely.
Because
Yes.
we have this huge backyard that we're not going to go stand out there for 45 minutes when it's 12 outside. That's just not going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
So he's had no off leash training, whereas like Bailey, That dog was not on a leash his whole fucking life.
Yeah, it was weird.
Because you just said, "Hey, fuck face, come back here," and he'd be like, "Oh, all right."
Maybe I'm getting some.
Yeah, yeah, and like,
That's
but
the
now
beagle.
when I yell at Clint, he gets scared and he runs away. So it's like the opposite of that. So I don't know.
No, the whole
shock collar training is what's coming next.
the whole
unfortunately.
bathroom training and all that stuff is weather like season dependent.
Yeah,
because I shared a pit bull with previous many relationships before, and the dog just came into like collar training and leash training and bathroom training all when it started to get cold. And that was a couple of years ago where we had like -10, -15 degree nights and all that shit. 2 a.m, I'm outside. Dog's looking at me like, I'm not taking a leak in this weather. And meanwhile, I'm in a bathrobe and like slippers going, somebody's
going.
I was like, somebody's peeing right now. Either me or you. Figure it out.
Yeah.
And then we
My
go
dog
in and the
gets the
dog would
same way.
dog would take a leak right in the carpet or on the hardwood. And I'm like, you're so lucky you're cute.
Well, I mean, like, I know what the problem is. We got to take them. We got to take our dogs on walks more.
Yeah, Amy said your dogs are terrible on a leash.
Oh, they're horrible.
Because she didn't know that the whole
She didn't know that
miscommunication.
all 3 of them are horrible on a fucking leash.
So
But,
let me
like,
ask this question.
Like, I wound up getting stuck at work, and then she had to take out your dogs at your sister-in-law's house. So it was just like, I'm at work, I have a full bar, and it's fucking crazy, and I'm just trying to let her know, like, okay, this is what you need to do. Unfortunately, you have to go to the Bosch's house and get a key. Then you have to go over to Jess and Karina's and then go in, let the dogs out. And it was totally, I didn't even think to tell her that you could just let them out in the backyard.
Yeah.
I just thought she was going to do that. But why would I assume that? Like, she doesn't know. She's never been to their house.
But I was texting with her,
Yeah.
too, and I never mentioned it either.
Yeah.
So
it's a failure in pretty much every
we
every
all
arena.
failed, and Amy had to fucking suffer.
she's like, those dogs are fucking horrible on the leash. She's like, they were pulling in all different directions. They're trying to go. One's trying to go in the road. One doesn't want to move. One's trying to go up to a fucking front door over here.
And I went, you walked them in a text. And I was like, oh. Shit.
So you guys had a guest a couple years ago that trained dogs.
Yeah, Dave
Kurlander.
Yeah.
I called him and I actually had hired his services
Really?
to train
Yeah.
the
See?
previous dog.
Said pit bull.
This
Said pit bull.
podcast has
And
done things.
Changed lives.
Changed
Oh,
lives.
you have no idea. You have no idea. But anyway, I paid for 3 sessions because it was $150 per session. It was expensive.
Go try a little bit.
In
It's
those 3
weird.
sessions,
It's good.
a pit bull
Yeah.
puppy that had
Finish it
like
up.
no
Oh,
boundaries figured shit out in 3 sessions. The leash training thing, that was the hardest part of me trying to train that dog. Him, 1 session, the dog's a fucking scholar at it.
Yeah, man.
Knew exactly.
Some
what was
people are
going
just
on.
well.
It's
I mean,
almost
like
fucking
you.
magic.
Like,
So
he's
I
sitting there, just do a
had
little nudging
Bailey.
and boom, finish.
I had Bailey for 7 years, and you taught him to lay down in one night.
Yeah.
It's just like sometimes like it kind of clicks.
But
and
call
he's
him
just-
up because
yeah.
he is
But here's
worth
the thing.
every fucking dollar.
Bailey wasn't mine.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I acted toward him was like, I kind of
Yeah.
like, I have no,
It tastes like sweet tarts.
I have no horse in the
Yes.
race. Yeah, it's
It's good.
honestly really delicious
I
because
like
it's a
it.
sour. If
Yeah,
if
it
this
tastes-
was like any sweet at all,
This-
we gotta talk about
This
this real
tastes
quick.
okay. So this is Graft cider. So do you remember when you were
Graft
a little?
is usually
do you
too
remember?
fucking weird to
you
be
remember when you were
Yes.
like a little kid and you're like, "Fuck, these aren't that good. I'm just gonna put them all in my mouth at once."
Yeah,
The whole fucking
Yep.
roll.
Oh,
That's what it tastes like.
I like
Graft
that a
Hudson
lot,
Valley
though.
sour
I
cider.
like it. It's neat.
Yeah.
It's
Smells like,
called Forest
like
and
grapefruit.
Frost,
Yeah.
berries
Little
and
grapefruit in
cream,
there.
hibiscus,
think any-
vanilla, orris root, and sea salt. It's really dry, but it's really good because it's not sweet.
Well, Graft sometimes has like I don't know if it's the different like
They have all series.
yeah different series. But usually it's like that farmhouse, that barnyard kind of like that really strong after.
It tastes like grass and dirt.
But yeah,
Piss and gravy.
But this one's solid. I could have this one and that's about it. But
Sorry, going back to the dogs thing.
Anyway.
I don't wanna
Oh,
cut you
sorry.
fucking off. So you hired him,
Yes.
the dog. How did it go?
Awesome. 3 sessions, 150 apiece. maybe more, maybe less, depending on your type of dog. But this was a puppy; it was still learning and everything. But I spent a good long, like the reason I called him was because I spent a good long time trying to get this dog leash trained.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't working. Every tactic I want, and I'm sure if I did a lot of YouTube digging, I could have saved a lot of money. But I wanted to see someone that actually like. What?
Cocksucker. Sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
I wanted to see what a professional could do, and hearing his credentials on this show, I was like, this guy knows his shit. Hired him, one training session, and the dog was leash trained.
Wow.
Taught me and X how to do the leash training at home. Like, we had homework, and it was amazing. And then 2 other sessions, being in public and sitting and all this stuff, like, showing us, like, techniques on how to, like, bribe the dog, basically, to sit.
Yeah.
And it worked. And my end game goal was to get the dog to be, like, a therapy dog for hospitals, because it was a purebred pit bull. Everybody was afraid of it. I brought that dog over to my family's house for Christmas. Everybody was scared to. You've met the dog. You've seen the dog.
That makes it only worse.
Would you be scared of that dog?
I
My
wouldn't.
entire family was fucking scared.
Some people they
shitless.
see those those ears.
What's the
and like the
predisposition
big
about the
jowls,
sound?
and they're just like. I mean, the thing is, those dogs are bred to fucking kill stuff. They are. They're a scary looking dog, but
Well, they're the
they're
pit bulls
also
and the Rottweilers
Yeah.
of the '90s.
Yeah,
Or the Rottweilers and the Doberman Pinschers.
Yeah.
Dobies, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
have
it's
to
like
be
you look like I just hold his big dumb face, and you just feel the muscle that goes from the bottom of his jaw to the top of his head. And
Yeah.
if that fucking thing got a hold of your hand, you're never getting it out of there.
I watched that puppy
Yeah.
take a chicken bone in her mouth and just crunch,
Yeah.
just to devour it, because it was on a raw food diet and all that stuff. But my whole family was scared of that dog. They were frightened of this thing. Like, this is the sweetest fucking animal I've ever met in my life.
I think delivering, I've met maybe 1 or 2 that have been like rather aggressive.
Yeah.
But it's because it was kind of like a startle thing. Like I just kind of came around the corner and all of a sudden it's like, oh shit,
Yeah.
someone's
Exactly.
here.
Yeah.
They were like,
But other than that-
Sasquatch has made it to the city.
Yeah. But
Sorry.
But other time, like one other time, we just like I'm walking back, didn't even notice she was laying in the grass. She came over and just like put her head up against my hand as I walked. I'm like, "Hi, baby."
Yeah.
She's just like got that big giant smile. I'm like, oh.
yeah,
I mean, a lot of it has to do with the upbringing and the they have a lot of energy. It's like a big thing, but I mean, not to talk shit, but I've been attacked by a dog twice, and both of them were terriers. One was a pit bull and one was a bull terrier. I mean, like, you can fuck up any dog.
Yeah.
Chihuahuas.
Like, I mean, all those little fucking rat
those
dogs.
fucking things.
They don't. You don't train it at all. It's going to be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So
Spoiled little
it's just
rat
now
bastards.
you have a piece of shit that wasn't taken care of that could kill somebody.
Yeah.
But
You
even
know,
me, like,
you remember that fucking Dax, that Rhodesian Ridgeback we had.
ooh.
We've talked about him.
That dog's a
couple
fucking
times on the
nightmare.
show.
Wow.
That
There was
dog
no training that dog. That dog
fucking
should have been put down.
Scary.
That dog should have been
He's
put
scary.
down.
Well, one of them attacked my my in-laws' dog. Like grabbed him by the neck and fucking swung him around. Same thing, Rhodesian Ridgeback.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Well, that
scary
dog
dogs.
was a
it was
rescue
ano-
dog.
Another same thing.
It was a rescue dog. It was billed as a yellow lab. It only got to about 35 pounds. It was wiry and all teeth. It was a terrible dog. Terrible dog.
It was a dingo.
Yeah. That's a fucking wild animal.
Yeah, the only dog that I've ever had any ill will
hold of me.
towards was
Huh?
My shirt at one time, I was just like,
my brother got attacked by.
Yeah,
a
this is
giraffe.
going great.
I'm like,
hit him on the back of the
he's
head.
just playing with me,
He had
right?
stitches on the back of his head, like it sank its teeth into its head.
We see this right here and here.
Dog.
Yeah.
German.
Yeah.
There's 2 back here.
Yeah. They go.
No, it
for
wasn't a
I
German
forgot about
Shepherd.
that story.
It
Yeah.
was my own dog.
Ooh.
When I was 2 or 3, I think it was. Almost lost my eye.
Yeah. That's
What kind of
pretty
dog was it?
Close to the.
Mutt, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't remember exactly what kind it was. But then I asked my dad. I was like, "Whatever happened to Toby?"
It's like we shot Toby in the
took
fucking
care-
face.
I took care of him. I was
Yeah.
like, "Well, what happened?" He goes, "I took care of him."
Don't go in the
He
backyard.
was a German
specifically this
Shepherd,
corner,
Rottweiler, Pit Bull,
with a little,
Doberman Pinscher.
with a little Chihuahua and some Shih Tzu.
Yeah.
Just to
Jesus
round
Christ.
out those corners. Oh man! But anyway, yeah. to your show, because you
right.
gave me a little inspiration on who to contact as well.
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah. That was a good episode. Is he still doing his podcast?
He is. Like, he's ramped it up considerably.
Yeah, it's
Pack
the
Animal.
Pack Animal podcast.
Yeah,
it's
Pack
very
Animal.
good.
I've seen
They're
some of the
kind of
stuff.
short though, right?
Yeah, they're only like 20
Yeah.
minute episodes. It's nice
Yeah.
because it's like a breeze. That's the
It's like a
way to
little bit
go,
of a
man.
monologue
man.
too.
The
which is
shit
a
we
very-
do is fucking
Yeah.
stupid.
Well, I mean, it's fine if people are invested, but for, I think if I were to start another podcast, I would try a format that was 20 to 25 minutes.
Yeah, you have to now.
Just because there's so much out there. I mean,
It's
like I
easy-
listened to, like I was saying, your D&D podcast. I liked it. It was good. There's just, or it still is good. You're still doing it. I can't keep up with it.
It's too
you know,
much.
That's very
it's a lot.
in depth.
It's a fucking lot. You have to be like you have to be a fan. You have to be very invested in it for it to be.
But you also have to have those hours.
Yeah, there's
to-
that too.
like if you're a commuter, it's fine. I'm not. So for me, like a Joe Rogan podcast, he's been cutting them way back lately. Takes me 3 days to get through it.
Yeah.
And so now I'm,
like 2.5
I'm
hours or something like that. It takes-
sometimes 3,
Yeah.
sometimes 4.
Like
but,
I actually
you know,
been turned off by that.
Yeah. But, if it's a guest that I like, I skip a lot of shows now. I used to just listen to everyone religiously.
Yep.
Same thing with this show, same thing like with your D&D podcast.
I
But
got-
it was somewhere around episode 7 or 8 that it just like fell off. Like I was just like, I'm 20 behind now. that represents.
There were like weeks where we didn't even play. We had
Yeah.
a couple in the can because we figured, it was just, yeah.
Like that one I was talking about before, Morbid, that one that was talking about the ritual thing. That started off with just two girls talking about, whatever. Then all of a sudden they get into now it's like I skip ahead. Like I just go with the fast forward button till the 10 minutes at least because they just go on, shoot the shit about their personal lives, about this. Oh my God, like da. Then all of a sudden it's about, we got to thank our Patreon. We got to do this. And I'm like, it's just stupid shit. And
smash that subscribe button or whatever they say.
Right, yeah, exactly. That kind of stuff. But
you have to worry about this now.
But it's like the show could be done in probably about 40 minutes, maybe 35 or so, but they spread it out to about an hour and 10 minutes at least with garbage. Like, because they're in the middle of talking about something and it's just like they shoot off and it's just like fucking like somebody raping my ear with just, I'm like, will you just shut the fuck up and just continue talking about what you want to talk about?
Kind of sounds
like this episode.
No, but the whole thing is this show
You said
it
episode, I said
it doesn't
show.
have a format. Like if we were
That's
a
the
true
thing.
crime plot, if we were a true crime podcast and we
Red
spent
leather,
40
yellow leather.
minutes in the beginning just doing plugs and talking about our own shit, no one's going to listen to that.
No.
Nah.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of those shows. You skip over the first 40 minutes and just get right into whatever the story is this
Yeah.
week.
I was actually thinking about this last week when you guys were talking about, next week's going to be our last episode. And I'm like, so what did they, I'm thinking, what was their actual format? Because don't take this to, do not take this
no,
bad.
no.
I've had this question
absolutely
too.
not.
But I'm like,
Absolutely
what is
not.
the actual format? Like, there's a, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4. Like, you kind of can segue into different things. And then I thought, these guys are fucking Top Gear. You go in because you have an idea, like, oh, we're going to talk about this. But you don't go to watch the show because they're going to talk about this booze.
No.
You go there for their antics, for their
No one's
for
like,
the
I can't wait
conversation.
for this episode. Like that's
Yeah.
never been that
Yeah,
this
yeah.
show.
No.
This
Yeah.
show, what we were trying to do, and I think we succeeded to a certain degree, is it's just a couple of dudes drinking in a basement with random fucking people.
Yeah, and it's
And
it's
at
about
first,
the conversation.
At first, we didn't even have the random people.
Yeah.
We had no idea.
It was
what we
just
were doing.
us.
The
Oh, I
first
remember.
the first 70, 80
Our
episodes were
friends.
yeah, just
Sometimes.
sometimes.
And we grew up with Opie and Anthony, Howard Stern, fucking Booker in the Morning, or Booker in the Afternoon, all these fucking Don Imus and all these fuckers. Even though I didn't listen to a stitch of him, he sucks.
No, he's dead too.
But
Good.
we grew up listening. That's what we listened to. We listened to the fucking radio. So when podcasting came out, we were like, "Holy shit!
Oh, we
can
could do
be
it.
on the
Yeah.
fucking radio
Yeah.
of the future, which is the internet." So that's what I wanted to do. Was I wanted to do a show where we shot the shit. It was honest, And what we were talking about was just what we were talking about. I know, like, I steered in like weird directions, trying to get content, like being overly content heavy. And then the solution was interviewing people around here with the same vibe that we were trying to put off. At least that's how I felt.
And it worked great until we ran out of people.
You could tell through episode to episode, like who you guys like kind of vibed, meshed well
Dude,
with.
like honestly, I really feel like
shit.
I really feel like we probably would be continuing a little bit more if booking didn't get so hard in the last year.
I don't know.
No?
I'm just me personally, I'm just burnt out of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like not to get fucking. I don't want to like bring the tone down or.
Does he need
like
two more people to? I don't know. Just like the. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't want to like bring the mood down or anything like that. But like, I just.
As he takes a big glass of gin.
Just
I'm
thinking
gonna need
that.
a drink for this.
He's like,
all right. Well, speaking of which,
he's
I'll
like,
just.
I never liked this show anyway.
But like, I just even interviewing people, and even though everybody's been great, Nick, Nick,
Everybody
and Nicole,
else.
the Magros, the Pitch Black Sunrise, and Logan, and
Church of Satan,
Church of Satan,
you had
fucking
Andy Reid.
Sponge. We interviewed Sponge,
Andy
and
Reid.
huh?
Andy Reid.
Andy fucking Reid, Obscure Oscillation Brewery,
King's Court.
King's Court, Illuminated Coffee.
By the way, I work at King's Court now.
William. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
William Greenberg, the fucking the light guy. What was that? The light therapy.
Oh, I remember
thing?
you saw.
Oh,
I remember you doing that.
penal,
Fucking-
the penal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Penial
The
eye or-
penal eye.
Tony O, who fucking
I
like
don't know.
we did the knitting show.
What's it called?
Pineal gland.
Pineal. Yeah. Whatever.
He's like penal
Penial.
eye.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It's the penis gland.
Yeah.
Penis
Tony
eye
O
gland.
with like Hudson Valley Legends and Mac and everything. I know,
Hank.
but like
Oh, give me that.
Hank.
Hank Hudson Valley, fucking
Yeah.
Hank.
That guy.
Shadow Witch.
That's one of the best beers I've had in a long fucking time.
But what I'm saying
That's
is like,
fucking tasty.
like all of them, it was great. It was
Yeah.
it was great, and like getting people in and talking to them was still great. But I'm just like, I think I'm done.
Doing
Like, I
it-
just
If
feel
it's
doing
done,
it.
if it's done,
I feel
there's
done.
because I definitely don't want it to be like
Yeah.
fucking Opie and Anthony, where they fucking hate each other. 'cause
Yeah,
they
and-
did it for 20 years
And
too long.
honestly, because of the
Yeah.
being a fan of that show, that like gave me pause because I watched them, I listened to them, I followed it all downhill until it didn't even crash and explode. It just kind of like pittered out. And
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
fell apart.
gross.
Everyone slowly got fired.
And there
Yeah,
was the
slowly
what
got
was it, the
fired,
whack
started
off
their own
Wednesday
shit,
thing
stabbed
that
each other
kinda
in the
like
back.
was the nail in the
Yeah,
coffin.
well, they got fired from terrestrial. It's like a whole thing. We've been through
Yeah.
through it a bunch of times on the show.
Yeah, well,
but
like look it up,
yeah.
Google that shit
Yeah.
if you want to fucking learn.
Yeah.
But
I came here because you got I started watching you guys when you had like this was the topic we're going to talk to blah 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 person, but I didn't come here to listen to that. It was the conversation,
yeah,
and the interaction you had with
And that
the
was the
interview.
point of
and
it.
it wasn't even like part of the topic. Like this, the barber guy, Francois.
yeah.
You guys, the topic would be talking to barbers in the area, and then you guys have this fucking huge shit story that lasts for like a half hour.
Oh God, yeah.
And that was the best part of the show, hearing that. Yeah, and you guys he cut my hair a couple times actually too.
Yeah.
Not bad. I don't know where the hell.
Well,
he
I
is
can
now,
tell you
but-
just from being sitting in here, and probably you can attest to this too. It's just like I'm sure I don't know if it's for you guys also, but like I could sit here for an hour and a half, 2 hours, just shooting
even
the
more.
shit.
Yeah,
But like, and all of a sudden it's like now you're like, all right, I think it's time for this. Boom, and I'm like, no.
Well, usually
I'm not
Adam
done.
has to pee or has
Yeah.
to work in the morning.
It's like
It's-
it's
yeah.
this weird
You-
fucking
yeah,
balance
you've
that
had- yeah.
it's hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
I
I know
get
he's
I
probably got
get
in the
hung
back
up.
of my back of your mind. You got to edit. You got to do like a little bit of this. Then you also got to go do the rest of your shit. You also have to do.
No. It's not even that. It's just like you get this pressure where you're like, okay, is this?
what are we
like,
going to do this week? What are we going to do?
Are
next week?
people enjoying? Like, what are we gonna do this week? What are we gonna talk about? Are people enjoying this? And like all this shit is like revolving in your head the whole fucking time.
Mhm.
And like I get stuck on that shit a
Mm-hmm.
lot, and it's fucking stressful. But I don't know. Like I fell apart in the Sponge interview.
Yeah.
Still fucking laugh at that shit.
Yeah.
But like I've had great
That was a little-
interviews. I feel like we've done great interviews with a lot of local.
I feel like okay.
Mikey.
So
What's
here,
his name?
here,
Mikey.
okay.
DJ Mikey.
Mad
Yeah,
Mike.
that was
Mad
we're gonna-
Mike,
okay.
holy shit,
so
that was such a
and
fucking
what-
great.
Rocket
episode.
what I'm
Steve.
trying to say, I think
Oh.
if
Yeah.
I think if Sponge was sitting in this room you'd have freaked out a lot less.
In your own environment.
Yeah,
kind
I
of thing.
think-
Yeah.
Because
I
I
think
mean,
it's
I could even see you doing it
it's
a
my
little
safe
bit with
space.
like Cersei, and they're not much more famous than we are.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I was just excited to
Yeah.
find. I was just
Yeah.
like, I'm like,
It's a
yes,
band,
here we go,
dude.
we
You-
fucking got it. Like I
Yeah.
was like so excited to get them, just because like
Yeah.
they've kind of like weaved their way in and out of this show, and we've
Yeah.
never actually fucking nailed them down. So it was like, yeah, it was a little nerve wracking, but that felt very natural for me. That whole interview, I don't know. I had a bunch of shit to
Yeah.
talk about, and just
It would have been better
don't
if we weren't in a parking lot.
it would have been way better if we weren't in a parking lot.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was. Yeah.
I
was
haven't
thinking-
listened. I haven't listened to it yet.
Oh yeah,
I can't bring myself to listen.
I did
to
it.
it.
I
'cause
did
I'm
it
worried.
once, and that was it.
Really?
I watched bits of the video, and the video was like not unwatchable, but not worth posting.
Now, do you
Really?
think
Yeah.
that because you like a lot of people say you're your own worst critic? Is that why?
Could be,
Knowing
but
because
a lot of
like,
it is
how you
the
like the
way
video
like I had to
quality,
set up the
sound and
camera in a parking
You
lot.
talking about audio, or you talking about visual?
Visual,
Or just
like from
Say
what-
audio
yeah.
if you. If
no,
you,
no,
if you think
no,
audio.
no. I don't know what the audio sounded like because I was so douched out by the video that I haven't fucking listened to it
no.
yet.
He's trying to be Fellini with a podcast.
No,
Gotta
So
be-
the thing was, like,
Yeah,
I
you're
had to set up a camera before everyone sat down, and it's hard to film yourself because you don't know what it looks like because you're fucking sitting there with a microphone. I hope everything's in frame. I cut off like this much of your fucking head
Because I
'cause-
probably sat there
'cause I-
like this.
no.
but when I interview, I sit
but a lot of
forward,
it, and a lot
and
of
I
it,
sit-
a lot of it was that I had to set up the camera before we started.
Yeah.
And I couldn't go wide enough because we were in a fucking parking lot, and I didn't want somebody to run over my tripod
or steal.
So,
I
so
did
the
notice
video
that about you.
yeah.
Anytime you're always like. So,
Yeah, you start here.
And then all of a sudden it's
constantly-
then you move in.
Yes.
I'm constantly fidgeting.
What did we do
there
before we
was a
had
problem.
these?
I would like just hang on
Sit.
to it for fucking dear life.
Yes.
I think. I don't know.
because we had these things that
Yeah.
were sitting like here.
Yeah. I still have them. I
Remember-
gotta like get them out. I
remember-
should have got them out for this.
Do you remember
That's what
Airheads?
we should have done.
Remember
yeah.
the movie Airheads?
Yeah.
What's his
Yes.
name? The DJ in Airheads.
Oh, Ian the Shark.
Yeah.
Ian the
He would do
Shark.
that. He'd just lean back and start talking. Then all of a sudden he'd go like this.
Yeah.
Like,
Listen up, guppies.
Listen
Ian
up,
the Shark
guppies.
is back.
Yeah, that's what I see.
Fucking love. That's like one of those movies that I saw and I was just like, radio's fucking cool.
Nah.
Yeah,
It's not.
And now you're 37. You're like, I regret every decision I've ever made.
Listen to the
I've
soothing
made a
sounds of the
string
rain.
bad decisions, but
I
All
work
right,
with
Adam.
I lit.
oh shit! And
Oh.
what are you drinking?
This is fan fucking tastic. I'm glad it sat in my fridge for a while because, as it says on here, it's bottle conditioned, but it gets better as it ages well.
Mm.
So this one's called Hair of the Dog Brewing. Adam. I bought this a while ago because it's my name and his name, and I said the next time I go on the show,
You guys are so cute.
I really
You
wish I
should get
could-
married and have sex with each other.
A shared moment.
Anyway, it's a hearty old world ale, bottle conditioned. They're from Portland, I think it said.
It's got to be.
Yeah, Portland, Oregon.
This
ale-
is the
this ale
best.
a
This is the best brown ale I've ever had.
This is a recreation of an historic
Yeah.
beer style once produced
Top
in
5 beers I've ever drank.
Dortmund, Germany.
Let me say that.
That's a bold statement coming from you.
Top 5.
The flavors in this beer have been compared to, and I get pretty much all of this: chocolate, smoke, leather, and figs.
Can I smell it? Let me smell it.
Like that's an
It's
top 5.
extremely bold
It's
statement.
top 5.
Fucking
You could-
amazing.
I could
smells
bring
really
you
good.
to
Just take a
Beer
little
World or
tiny-
whatever that is on Route
I
9,
know.
and you would literally go, aisle done, aisle done, aisle done. Have that
Yeah.
in my fridge. Like you,
I've fallen off.
you've
I've fallen
drank
off,
the world. Basically.
I've fallen off from the beers in the last 5 years or so. But this, I mean, this is the perfect like imperial-ish brown.
This needs to be in a
What's
glass like
what's
this.
the yeah
at about a 40-degree
10%.
temperature, 45-degree
10%? Yeah,
Yeah.
this
Strap
is,
in, motherfucker.
this is an imperial brown ale that has 0 rivals.
Right.
I've never had one
No.
in this genre
It
that has
sounds
been
really
better.
good.
Oh, yeah, smell it. I can't do it, but I can smell it.
No, I smell the glass.
Ooh,
It smells
is-
nice.
It just smells like
that is-
fucking coffee
that is some
and chocolate
thickness.
And it's like if you bit into a shoe that just had leather.
This is
and
pornography,
Yeah.
folks.
I'm
Fellas-
imagining very
fellas and
bad
folks.
cologne you get from like Big Lots.
Yeah.
Like, like
But it tastes good.
Like
This
your
is,
like your
Forest for men.
like your first cologne, but not brute.
I'm glad I saved this.
Yeah, this is the best beer you ever handed me, I would say.
But that smell also, that would be the if you're hungover the next day and then you smell that, you want to die.
Oh yeah.
That's
probably
that's
right.
the
Oh,
shoot
no,
me
like,
now smell.
Like,
tainting this.
like if you fall asleep and then have a fucking swig of the warm one at 4:30 in the morning that's sitting on the nightstand, you're like,
a literal hair of the dog. A literal hair of the dog.
No,
You're just
I
like,
thought it was water. But
this would still be good at about another 10 degrees warmer, I think.
yeah, this could be served at 40, 45.
It smells like it has
Yeah.
chew to it.
It does.
Like
Yeah.
you could
It's
almost
got
chew
it. It's got a
Yeah, it's nice.
yeah. I'm imagining like coffee
So again,
pudding.
everybody, it's
See,
Hair of the
you-
Dog
you
Brewing
feel
Company.
how I feel. Right
They're out of
now.
Portland,
Yeah.
Oregon.
I do, but I just don't.
And it's the Adam Hardy Old World Ale.
And it said, I
It
think
really
it's in-
feels like that. It feels like. Do you remember before you had celiacs?
I do.
A long time ago,
A
I
lot.
brewed a recipe that was published by George Washington.
Yes, I remember that one very well.
It kind of tastes like that, but way more professionally done.
Yeah.
A lot of like brown sugar.
It was.
I get some
heavy.
cherry almost on it.
Yeah.
so
yeah, like
heavy.
a dark cherry.
So
It tasted like oatmeal.
So it had oatmeal
Gruel,
in it.
boo.
It had
It
no.
was
It,
just
it
tasted
had
like-
oatmeal in it.
It tasted like you
Yeah.
had oatmeal and
Yeah.
like you have oatmeal, chocolate, and brown sugar all mixed into a bowl, but with no milk, nothing to loosen it up, just like
Yeah.
spackle. It was so heavy.
bottle.
It was delicious though.
No. Yes.
These are
It was
these are,
delicious though. It was
these
fucking
are the
delicious.
choice. These are the reasons why I'm happy that I haven't had a drink in 3 years.
You could fucking
almost
chew
4.
on this shit. It was amazing.
Because
So-
I'd be puking my guts out.
If anybody wants to make this, just Google it. It's like the George Washington brown sugar
So good.
ale, and
But
the whole thing is during the Revolutionary War they would ship casks of beer to soldiers. Like that was a normal thing. So they'd ship them casks of beer, and there was a memo, like a letter that George Washington sent out to troops and said, if you want to stretch that cask, drink halfway down, and it was just like some whatever brown ale that it could have been some
Yeah,
beer
whatever.
company out of fucking Boston or whatever.
yeah, whatever.
Like a Boston Beer Company or something.
Oh,
well, they
shit.
didn't exist yet.
No, I said Boston Beer
Yeah.
Company.
So he said, here's what you do. You take that beer, drink half of it, still have all that live yeast in the cask, and then you take molasses, brown sugar,
All rations.
all rations, all things that they could get, add that to it, and then add water, fill it to the top, cap it for like 2 weeks, and now you had another full cask of beer. And there would be army regiments that would do this for years
And they
straight.
were fucking shit cannon. That's
Yeah.
why we won the war.
So this is a beer stew, basically.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like beer, but it's
It just-
mostly like just fermented
It's-
sugar.
it's
like
like
it's like
everybody
fucking
in the pot.
It's like prison wine.
yeah.
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 Oh, I was thinking that
yeah.
or
Yeah.
jungle juice
It's
kind
got
of, or not
booze
jungle
in
juice,
it.
but yeah,
Yeah.
like a, yeah.
And
So
that's
they
all
would
you need to
they
know.
so they would
I
take
make this
their
wine in a turlet.
molasses and brown sugar rations, and they
Yeah.
would just dump it in the barrel, and you'd still have those residual flavors from the hops and the whatever brown ale that they started with.
That's right.
Ooh.
Attack! Attack!
Get him! Get him!
Kill that big motherfucker! He's
I'm so tempted
He's
to
half
just I'm
giant.
so tempted to just drink that whole beer before it gets
take a
bad.
sip.
Here,
Just take a
do
little
do.
nip.
Drink it and then
I'm gonna
then
drink
give
some
me
of
the
it.
glass.
Just a
Drink it
little
and
bit.
then I'll put the
Just a
glass
touch.
right
oh
here.
God! Oh,
Hang on, hang
No,
on.
that's
give it
fine.
back
No,
to
it's
him.
fine. You won't
No,
know.
give it back. I'm not gonna be a jerk.
I'll just be like,
Don't do it.
no, I can't.
That's so good.
It smells.
It smells so good.
It just smells like your first cologne.
Yeah. So that's like I said, probably
Could you-
top 5 beers ever. Do you have a top 5 beer still?
I
They're
do.
like 10 years old.
I do.
Dogfish
I still
90
have
minute?
mine.
Yeah. In no particular order, just the ones that come to mind. Stone, their anniversary. I want to say it's their 12th anniversary. It's the bitter chocolate oatmeal stout. Dogfish Head, Miles Davis, Bitches Brew. These are all going to be like super dark beers. Those are all
I
my
didn't like that one, but I think I might like it now.
Yeah. I do want to say Dogfish Head. See, it's funny because I want to say 90-minute, but I also want to say 75 because I had those 2 glasses of beer at the brewery for that one. But I'll say 90-minute because I've had that more often, and I would like reach for that nowadays.
Yeah.
Avery.
Avery's a great.
Avery, just their regular fucking flagship ale is just like, that was just such a fucking solid beer. I just remember that hitting me like, damn. Oh, and the left hand milk stout.
Interesting.
That's
Oh
a
yeah,
solid
you're
one.
like all a dark beer, like dark.
Oh yeah,
Left
I
hand
like
milk stout. That fuck, that might mess up my list.
See,
all right.
Yeah,
so
mine was
my
more like
my
wheat beer.
list. My list is,
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, it's changed so much in the last 2 minutes.
Well, I mean, like,
okay,
you start,
so
like,
so
all
I'm not
the
gonna.
shit starts
These,
coming back.
these
I'm
are
like,
in,
oh, fuck, the
these
Festa
are
de
in
Peche.
no
Oh, shit,
no
the fucking,
no particular order.
The Maharaja.
No particular order. No particular order. It will be that beer that I just mentioned.
Okay.
That's in the top 5. I'm not saying it's the number 1.
I feel like it's biased.
Well, yeah. I'm saying it's made it in the top 5. Right? So you got that one. Stone Ruination IPA.
Oh, yeah.
Stone Ruination IPA for sure.
Those are motherfuckers.
Dogfish Head 60-minute. I'm not going to go with a 90-minute because sometimes it's not great.
Well, I'm talking about it at its peak when it was young.
Oh, okay. If we're
'Cause
gonna
that's
go,
when I
if we're gonna
remember.
go just the one vintage that it was really really good, Dogfish Head 90-minute. Bell's Two Hearted Ale.
What I meant.
God damn
Top
it! I
five-
forgot about
top 5
Bell's.
beers.
Two Hearted has to be in there. I'm
Yeah.
not even a big IPA guy, but that's the best IPA I've ever
Is that an
had.
IPA though?
Son of a bitch.
Yeah,
This is
think
what
it's
I
just a
love.
pale
It's,
ale.
it's a hoppy pale ale.
Trying to get you
Yeah.
guys
Yeah.
to do a top 5 is like me trying to do a top 5 movies. It just
Yeah.
doesn't fucking
Yeah.
because you're gonna be like,
this could
oh, but what
change.
about this?
So
What about-
I still got
your
one
top
left,
5
and I'm
turns
thinking
into
about
20.
6 different beers.
Yeah.
Fucking Java Head.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Java Head's a good one.
Just
Southern Tier.
I mean, just because
Never had any of those ever. No.
just because like there might be better beers.
When are they getting
There might be better beers than that one in that category. But how many have I had and found?
Oh yeah, sure.
But like if I
But
see
I've had,
if
like-
I see Trogs Java Head on tap, fuck everything else. I'm ordering that.
Yeah, that's what I go by. I go by the
Yeah.
one. If I see it on tap, I lose my shit, and I get that.
Hmm.
I
So
forgot.
if I were
but
to
I'm not even
slightly
thinking about-
refine
but,
that
like,
list,
nothing
I'm
came to
gonna
mind.
put the two hearted at the top.
But I forgot like Chimay, white
Fuck
label.
Chimay.
Chimay.
Oh, Chimay white.
Is that
label.
like Sha Dynasty?
No,
Shady Nasty.
These
disagree.
Belgians, man, Orval.
Just garbage. Just a bunch of garbage.
Chicago.
That entire genre of beer is garbage.
Stop your nonsense.
I'd prefer PBR over
Chicago!
Chimay, dude.
You're out.
Crazy.
It's just I just don't like
No.
I don't
You're
like those
out.
flavors. The fucking Belgian yeast, man. Yeah, in my opinion, when you take a good beer and make it out of Belgian yeast, you fucking ruin it.
I would say this: if somebody said,
I had a Belgian that one of my customers, one of the best texts you could get, I guess, as a driver. Hey, I got something coming to my house today. I have 2 beers that I brewed. Left them out on the porch for you. And they were Belgian. They were Belgian wits. And
I wish you were my UPS driver for my house.
I'm
I
glad
am
he's
sometimes.
not mine.
I am
Sometimes?
sometimes, yeah.
"You
Let
ever
me
drop
know
by
you
my
are.
house?"
Sometimes.
I'm so glad you. Don't
Usually
come
on
to
Mondays.
Whoppers.
Mondays I'll get this.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
We get. a
Remember,
lot of
I've
stuff from-
told
Yeah,
you
man.
this.
I should have
well,
some.
we're all free on Mondays now, so
Well, can I tell you, I'm glad he's not my UPS driver because I buy everything on Amazon and eBay.
You're a piece of shit.
He
I'm
would.
just kidding.
He'd be like, "Mike, you got 10 boxes again. come fucking sign
Honestly,
this
man.
shit. And meanwhile, I'm like, I'm at work. Well, fuck you. Then it's going back.
You need like two
I did
different.
steal some beer out of that glass while you were in the
I
bathroom.
don't care. It's yeah.
It's goodness.
That
You
that
need,
made
like,
my top
two-
5. I
you
gotta
need
get
two
a picture of that.
mailboxes.
I gotta get a picture of that bottle.
You
Well,
need
see-
2 mailboxes for just tips for your delivery people.
Oh, I do that every year. I put
Or
like
3
a little.
FedEx. I don't use FedEx. Doesn't show up at my place. It's always UPS.
Well,
I get FedEx
probably
and
because they're
UPS,
delivering
and
on the other
USPS.
street.
I get all of them, and every Christmas I actually leave like if I know something's coming delivery wise, I won't say like FedEx man or UPS man. I'll put like a little Christmas card in there, and I'll put like $20 in.
See, I
Because
did
these
that-
guys, I live on a second floor, and I get everything delivered.
No
I
of-
buy TVs online.
No offense,
Don't
UPS.
ask
Throw a
guys.
little more
I
next year.
I
Huh?
tipped my
Throw a
mailman
little more
this
next
year.
year.
Yeah. Well, I thought $20 was
I
nice.
tipped my mailman. I gave him a
You
gift
see, I don't tip
card.
my mailman because I have a new one every week.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, I
It's a
have.
different fucking person
Nope.
every week.
I got the same guy.
Yeah,
His
I know
name's
your guy.
Bobby, and
His
if he
name is-
doesn't
he's a great
fucking
guy.
show up, I'm like, where
Yeah.
the fuck is Bobby?
Yeah.
If my mailman, I'd give my mailman a tip if he actually did what like the packaging says, like do not fold.
This
And he
dude,
crams that shit into like a
this
little.
dude's the
tiny-
shit. He's super friendly. He fucking hangs out when like we're setting up Halloween shit in
Mm.
October. He would like stop by, he'd like chat with us and everything like that. He's a super cool
Nice.
guy. So I was just like, you know what?
Yeah, I don't have those people.
I gotta give that.
Well,
guy
our
a tip.
garbage men are assholes. Because
Yeah.
like
Our garbage men.
we have
come
we have
way
tenants,
early.
we have tenants and Airbnb and all that stuff. So sometimes we put out 4 cans. If we put out anything more than 1 can, the cans are strewn in the streets and the yard and fucking everywhere. And it's like you pick up twice a week. Like
Do you watch Shameless?
I don't understand. No, I've never watched it.
No.
I hear it's good though.
It is a very
No,
good
The new one or the American version or the
the
original?
American version
Yeah.
and this last in the last
William H.
season,
Macy?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
last season of the American version, the latest one that's out right now. Carl becomes a garbage man, and
He's a
they're-
younger.
He's the one that got like was in the military and all that stuff.
Yes, that's right. yeah.
Carl.
That's okay. yeah. I haven't
he-
seen it in a while.
He becomes a garbage man, and these guys, the garbage men, are pretty much like running the town. They're like, oh, we're not going to empty more than 1 can, and there's this in the garbage can. We're just not going to take it because we're not gonna sift through the garbage. And they're like breaking into houses and like stealing shit. And they go, yeah, the garbage men run this town. And you go, oh shit. And then you said that, and I went, oh fuck, it's real.
Yeah, it's just it's kind of like my neighbor's cans aren't thrown all over the fucking yard.
You must have done something they didn't like.
Put out
It's
4
just-
cans.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 4 cans.
To be perfectly
Yeah.
honest, think about like the one time the reoccurring motif at your job where that just kind of like irks you just a little bit.
But I mean,
People
honestly,
calling,
honestly,
when you used to work at the coffee shop, people who called you up in the middle of a shift.
yeah.
That's like one of
Yeah.
those things. It's just like
So the
it's-
thing
you
is,
can
had
do
they
it,
not
but-
started with that,
right,
things would be different.
Yeah.
Probably think
We're talking the first couple of weeks that I lived there.
Yeah.
This shit started happening because we had tenants downstairs. Like there were 6 people living in my house. Like we're gonna put out 4 or 5 garbage cans a week.
Yeah.
And they just would throw them on the lawn, and then I'd look at the neighbors' cans, and they'd be nicely sat by the row with the fucking lid on. I was like, all right, well, I guess you're not getting a Christmas tip. And now we're 9 years in.
Somebody's
because
gonna win this
honestly,
pissing
honestly,
match.
like when I was raised to go, like the garbage man has a hard job. You buy him a bottle of Jack Daniels at Christmas time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would absolutely do that, except for our garbage man changes every week, and for some reason they still throw all our garbage pails on our lawn.
There's got to be something that says
Like
pick over these cans in this house.
Honestly, like I'm kind of to the point where I was just like, I should just wake up early one day and walk the fuck out there and be like, can we have a hard reset right now?
Yeah.
Merry
And,
Christmas.
like
Shitter's full.
you
I've
know,
had that happen
yeah.
before where it's just like, look, I've told customers, I'm like, look, I don't know what the fuck happened.
Mhm.
It might have stemmed from this. I says, but in all honesty, can we just squash the
Yeah.
beef? Just
Yeah.
and yeah.
So I've been thinking about that for a while now, especially because in Poughkeepsie it's weird because you have the garbage guys and the recycling guys, and they might be from the same company. I have no idea, but they're 2 separate trucks.
Right.
It's like a whole thing, and the recycling guys are totally fine.
Yeah.
But the garbage guys are just jerks.
Just pure garbage.
I mean, I don't know.
I came in.
So what I'm
Busted
thinking
our
about,
heads. Talking shit
what
about
I'm
her.
thinking about doing is just waiting one
so
day
shows
because they come on Mondays and I'm off in the morning, just getting up and waiting for the garbage truck to come and just walking out there and be like, hey guys, here's a 6-pack of beer. Probably don't drink it at work, but you know,
Or
Or find out what
do
they
whatever
like.
the fuck you want. You've already gone past my house, but you know, like I don't know what's going on. Maybe you're pissed off about whatever, but you know, let's give ourselves a hard reset here because you're the 6th or 7th different garbage man that's worked here for the last 6 or 7 years.
They just don't like your neighborhood.
I think so.
It's got to be the road.
I don't know why.
No, but I think a lot of it is like we had tenants in the past, and then it would be like all of a sudden 7 garbage cans full out front from the piece of shit we had living downstairs. And I think that's what started things. And now it's just like if I forget to take because I'm like crazy about recycling. If
That shit has to fucking go out, or it's just
dude,
it's
2
just
weeks
too much. It's
two weeks
too fucking much.
2 weeks worth of recycling in our house.
It's insane for
It's
us, too.
crazy.
They need to pick that
two
shit
1
up
liter bottles of
twice a
seltzer a
week.
day is like 6 hefty bags, I guess. I don't fucking know. It's a lot.
That shit
So-
gets over fucking whelming.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have
But
a
there have been
recycling bin, and
times
this
where I'm
shit
just there have been
flowing.
times where I'm
I don't
just
wanna
like,
do that.
okay,
No, I don't wanna do
we didn't take
How
the
do I
recycling
condense
out
this
last
even
week,
more?
so we need to stretch that recycling out over the next 4 weeks.
Yes!
Or they're gonna be mad.
Yes!
Yeah.
It takes you a month to
Yeah.
reset.
But they're the garbage men are very mad at us. And I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm just trying to figure it out.
I
And
think you hit the nail on the head though with go out, get a hard reset, and then
'Cause
maybe and not
I
only
think
that, but
what
like
happened was they were dicks in the beginning, and this is 6 people ago. Like none of those people work for the garbage company anymore.
or they're on a different route, maybe something like that.
something like that. But I think like we
Fucking
got off on
Patane's
the wrong,
garbage man.
we
I
got
need
off
another
on the
route.
wrong foot in the beginning, and I didn't give them a Christmas tip, which normally I would do.
Right.
But yeah, I mean they do literally such a bad job.
You can't complain
That
to
I just-
their higher ups.
They're trash at
They're
their
not gonna do
job.
anything.
I just it's just shit like, oh, you have a toaster oven in the bottom of the garbage. We're not taking that.
Yeah.
I'm like, but if I put it in the bag, you would have just taken it.
Oh,
Like,
Here's the
why?
thing though, it's like think about like what like you remember every customer that's probably tipped
But
you
they
well.
don't.
No, I'm just saying, but that's the thing.
That's
It's just
yeah.
like I remember like years ago people telling me it's just like, oh, I left a Christmas tree and this and all that shit out in the front, but I threw a 20 out in a card saying sorry for this, but whatever, everything was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, but
well, yeah,
yeah,
because
I'll
like I get
remember-
a customer, I'm like, that dumb bitch came in here 3 months ago and tipped me
Yes.
14%. That's bullshit.
Fuck
oh,
you.
great
Watered
story.
down coffee.
Had a Vassar student the other day.
Oh God!
Shocker.
She left
Do
me
I
a tip.
know her?
You want to know what she left me?
What'd she leave?
Eviscerate
She
the
left me
patriarchy.
11 cents to round out her fucking Vcash.
Vcash. These fuckers
It was a
will-
$35 bill, and she left me exactly 11 cents. So it'd be an even number for her fucking. And I walked over that. I walked over to the table, and I was like, hey, guys, how was everything today? And they're like, yeah, it was great. I was like, there was no problems with your service? And they were like, well, no, it was great. I was like, because if there was a problem with your service, I can go get a manager, and, like, we could take care of it. And they were like, no, everything was fine. I was like, oh, okay, because the tips were extremely low. So I just wanted to make sure.
Did you really?
Oh,
no,
yeah.
you didn't.
That is the
Fuck that
passive
bitch.
aggressive
No, you
way.
didn't.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I'm thinking right now?
Absolutely. Dennis was there. Zoe was there. They watched the whole fucking thing. I was like,
All I'm thinking is
I was just like, because the tips, but I mean, I phrased it a little bit, like more like, because the tip was extremely low. So I just wanted to make sure that everything was fine. And they were just like, yeah, everything was fine. I was like, cool.
that should have been the cue that
And I
she
walked
whips
the
out some
fuck away.
cash.
Yeah, no, they didn't do that.
It-
But the week previous to that, I had a guy go, well, it's a corporate car, like pretty much the same scenario. I was like, well, you didn't leave a tip, so I just wanted to make sure that everything was okay. And I'd be happy to grab a manager. Maybe we could give you a discount. Like I come at it with that kind of thing. And This dude, he was like, well, it's a corporate card.
So,
I was like,
so
okay.
That's
I
bullshit.
had-
This is a local business, so
Yeah,
what the
so
fuck
I
are
was
you talking about?
But the previous situation, I was just like, he goes, well, it was a corporate card. I was like, okay, fine. And I turned around, walked the fuck away, and I slammed the fucking, like, the book on the bar. And I go to walk past to, like, take care of other real humans that aren't pieces of shit. And his girlfriend, she was like, I got you. It's fine. And she left me, like, a 60% tip.
Oh, shit.
That guy felt like shit for a month.
I
after
had a
that
corporate
goddamn,
card, and
yeah.
I was only allowed to tip 15%.
They
So
give you a limit.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make up the
would
difference.
take it out of
Yeah.
my own fucking
Mm-hmm.
pocket to tip a little extra on top of that.
That's what
because
you
I would
do.
have
I
like,
mean,
listen,
it's-
I need to split the alcohol. Any alcohol goes on a separate tab, and this food goes on this tab, and this food goes like I had to be a douchebag about it. So, like, I tip the 15% on theirs, and then I throw in an extra fucking 10-15% on top of that.
Yeah, in that situation,
Just
you
to
got a
be
separate
fucking-
you got a separate check for your alcohol.
Yeah.
And this motherfucker had beers, all kinds of shit.
But we're talking
Yeah.
about our delivery men, who get nothing sometimes.
You get some tips, right?
Some
Some tips when the
But it's-
lowly
it
housewife
sure
opens
as shit
the
ain't
door.
20%.
If I got $1 for every delivery I made for like a week or
You
something
could
like that,
retire
It'd
in
be
a
hundreds
year.
of thousands of dollars. Yeah.
but the fucking pizza guy shows up to your door and you're like, "Here you go."
But I mean,
Take my
the difference
money.
is
Give
like
me my food.
that
No, I know,
yeah, he's
I
not
know what the
paid
difference
shit.
is. He's working
The-
for like
the-
$10 or whatever it is.
whole
He's
thing-
put
the
gas
whole
in
thing
it. I
is-
did
yeah.
pizza delivery for 5
Yeah.
years. I get it. Yeah,
I would want to
100%
see.
get it.
I want to see a system where tipping doesn't fucking exist.
I know. They were
It's
talking about it
stupid.
years
It's
ago.
only
We were
America.
talking about
In
It's
Europe, it
not
doesn't exist.
just
Yeah.
a city in China.
no.
That's from
And actually-
X-Men. That's from the first X-Men.
Here is a funny story. We had a guy when
Better be funny or I'm gonna be pissed.
it's a good one. So there's a couple that used to come into BC Kitchen, formerly known as Baby Cakes.
Now Savona's.
Now Savona's.
Which is
They
opening
are
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The doors were open today.
They better have the fucking
I think they had a soft
breakfast
open today.
frittata.
Yes.
They don't have breakfast.
I fucking hate it.
Tomorrow is the
Yeah,
official.
they're
I
an
will be there tomorrow
overpriced
night.
Italian restaurant that
Their-
their decor is mostly wine bottles. So
See this guy?
let's go. It'll be fine.
It's a turf
Baby
war.
Cakes had an
He's starting a
amazing-
turf war. He's starting a
Nope.
turf war live on
No,
YouTube.
I will gladly work there.
You got some beef?
Guess who might be working there?
You? Yeah.
Tell them to make a fucking breakfast frittata. And
I'll
go.
try to make a breakfast frittata for
Just
you
go
personally.
to Tomato
Mike.
Cafe.
And endless
It's
cups
2
of
doors
coffee.
down. We have a frittata.
Yeah, they have a frittata there.
and a croque monsieur.
Get the
Can
fucking baguette out of your mouth,
Can I
God damn
have
it.
the
Say
croque
bag of dicks.
monsieur?
Yeah, exactly. Bag of dicks.
Big of dicks.
Anyway.
See, I'm dropping old Baby Cakes fucking menu items, and no one's. I'm getting no reaction.
I prefer the croque madame.
I prefer the croque monsieur.
I went with the galvanized.
Wow.
Sorry.
Throw back.
Very deep down the well.
So anyway, this guy came in. He was known to be an asshole. Him and his girlfriend, whatever she was at the time. Kate actually walked up behind me and she said, "If they give you problems, kick them out." Like, this has been an ongoing thing about, nonsense, bullshit, whatever.
Are they fucking students?
No, older.
Ah,
Not old, but
Bastards.
like old, like
yeah.
like
we all know the age.
like 50s, 60s, like
We all know the age.
kind of like
Anyone who's
you
worked
walk
in food service knows the age.
you walk in, you establish yourself as like, yeah, I come in here, I spend some money, I spend like like $100 a month.
They
here,
say
something
they-
like that.
My favorite is I know the owner, and you're like, oh, do you? You want me to fucking
So
get
do
him?
I, dipshit.
So they can not give you
Yeah.
a fucking discount?
That and a quarter will get you a phone call if you can find a phone booth.
They
you
say
piece
they
of
have
shit.
salt and pepper hair, but it's actually just fucking gray.
Yeah.
I get it.
Anyway,
and a little
so
bit of dying. In there.
so they order
oh,
a couple
the-
salads
Soy sauce head.
and then entrees. And as I'm sure you know, when you order salads and an entree at the same time, when you put it in the computer, the kitchen accordingly will bring out your entree
Hell yeah.
at a
With
time
the salad.
after
Yeah.
your salads are going to be done. So They were talking to another couple, sat there for probably like 15 minutes talking to this couple. Salad sat there untouched. Then all of a sudden their entrees came out. I brought their entrees out. I said, "Sai, you guys want these? Whatever." Hold on, whatever. I'm like, "Oh, I'll just put it under the heat lamp. Let it sit on there for a little bit. You guys finish your salad.
Yeah,
you
get
want to
that
take them to go."
fucking salmon nice and fucking
Exactly.
like
Get a
well
nice,
done.
Get a nice glaze
like
on the top.
straight out of the
yeah.
Nice little oil sheen.
So their friends left. They started chomping down on their salads. And I said, "Want your entrees out in a couple minutes?" They didn't say a word to me. All right. Went back, got their entrees, brought them out. They finished salads. I pulled them away. "Can we get these to go?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely." They literally turned to me and he goes, "Adam, I don't know what happened tonight, but the service sucked. What do I owe you?"
The full price.
And I was just like, so I printed out the ticket.
What's on the bill?
Yeah.
Wow.
So ran his card, everything. He literally wrote 0 in the tip remark.
Like the word zero.
No,
Z-E-R-O.
0 and just.
That's what
My
I
favorite.
And I no, wait.
Cunt.
And then I literally said to him, I said, "Sai, you forgot to put anything in the tip column here," knowing the fact that I could just do whatever the fucking say I want.
Yeah.
He's
What
like,
are they
"Well,
gonna
like
fire
I,
you?
he's like, what are the,
While
well, like,
Kate's in the basement, 3 bottles of wine deep.
That's the thing. I think people don't understand that. Like
you're not
A bartender
invincible, you
makes
piece of
$8
shit."
an hour.
you work very closely with the owner of the fucking
Yeah.
thing.
And she, what you didn't
Yeah,
know
so-
is she
so-
literally
yeah.
told me like an hour ago, if they give you problems, tell them to get out. And literally what I told them, I was like, "You didn't write anything, and it's like it's 0 here." I said, "What was the service subpar?" She said, "Well, like I said, I don't know what happened." I said, "I know what happened. You're gonna get the fuck out of this restaurant. You're never welcome back here again. You're a piece of shit. Don't ever come back here again. You're not welcome here."
Yeah.
Solidarity.
And all of a sudden he's just like, I said, "You come in here, you order wine. She comes in here, she orders Coors Light and puts it in a fucking wine glass with fucking ice. That's a scumbag move. Get out of here."
Yeah.
Yay.
Please tell me they tried to come back like a week later.
They never have.
Ah,
I've
that
never
would've
seen them in the area ever since.
That would have made my day.
But we
hear all the time.
Yeah,
Not anymore.
It's like that one, I don't know who it is. They like keep a secret stash of Coors Light in the bar for people who come in who want to have like something that's off the menu or something like
Ours
that.
is Michelob Light.
Right, Mick Light.
And
yeah.
that man has since been killed or something. I don't know. So we're just selling off the Michelob. No, it's Michelob Ultra.
That's
Yeah,
some
we had
key-
we had
96
a
calories.
I just
Yeah.
came up with another a podcast within a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know what to do as
Pod
the
section.
sounder for it. But like food service. A food service like just a food
what-
service kind of dump.
No, it's not that.
What you need to do
My name is Turtle.
who works at Zeus now.
You need to do
I'm just gonna play all my sounders.
This is what's
Jack-
griping me this week kind of podcast. Like these, like in the
Adam
maybe the food
Pantane.
service
What?
industry.
Over here.
But it would.
Adam.
Jesus
What?
Christ!
Another one.
He just keeps pouring things.
I mean, it's fine. This is the last show.
Things just keep showing up.
You're gonna.
It's making me nervous.
I'll pass up. You got to do like a griping podcast. Like once a week, you just go, "No, what's pissing me off," and then you just go like on a.
You know what
tangent.
really grinds my gears?
Yeah, you know
I
what?
was just
You
gonna
can't really
say.
say that, but you know, like you just
Well,
come
I mean,
and
like
like,
you can do that shit on Facebook.
You know what really, you know what really pisses my
okay.
gears off?
I
know what really
I
chaps
would
my
like
ass?
to do a like a service industry podcast.
Yeah, you told me
so
about this idea.
yeah, so one
Yeah,
of
it's
the,
a movie.
Like,
It's called Waiting.
yeah, but I say the
Yes.
prerequisite is you have to
Yes.
watch Waiting.
Waiting is the greatest movie for servers.
No,
ever.
no, no. But
It's a
but
terrible
wait,
fucking
wait,
movie.
Wait,
I know
wait,
people who won't watch that because
wait,
of it.
wait. Everyone, shut up.
Just
So
turn waiting into a podcast.
And
I'll
we-
call
yeah,
Ryan Reynolds
that's
right
just
now.
that's just people bitching after work. It's called Shift Drinks.
Smell.
They have an Instagram channel. It's already
Jesus.
there.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's already there. It's fucking great. Follow Shift Drinks on Instagram. It's fucking hilarious. There's a whole they do 3 to 5 minute videos of just like dumb fucking Karens going like, so we have to catch a flight so we only have 15 minutes.
That's
And then
nice.
at the end of it,
It's
she's
deep,
just
but
like, the waitress is
bubbly
like,
and
so if you
fucking
want a
smooth as
steak
hell.
well done, it's going to take 30 to 35 minutes. I
About as
don't know
thick
what
as
to
used
do for
motor
you.
oil, too.
And then at the end of it, she's just like, oh, we didn't actually have to catch a flight. I was just in a hurry. And the waitress was like, seriously? And then the husband's like, so we're not going to Disneyland? It's a fucking hilarious show.
I think I gotta watch this shit.
What's this called again?
It's
Sorry.
called Shift Drinks.
Shift Drinks.
That's
Shift
one of my
Drinks on
favorites.
Instagram.
I'm in a bit of a rush. I'm like, oh, you should have left 15 minutes earlier.
Yeah, well, maybe you should go to Dunkin' Donuts, like another fucking.
Yeah, that was the best
stupid
thing
bitch.
ever when Powerhouse was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're trying to catch a show over there. Well, I guess you should have
Oh,
caught the.
boy, yeah.
You should have caught the fucking cab a little earlier, so they could have made it there earlier.
Mike, where have you
My
been?
favorite is telling
Food service?
customers,
You've
hey,
done food service?
I pushed you to the
I
front
worked
in
at
the kitchen
Wendy's.
when I did not do that.
Oh, yeah.
Hang on.
What?
That's the
Wendy's.
I used to work at. That was my first
Fast
job.
food.
I
This is
remember
the-
you
We
there.
got it tough.
No, I don't.
Think about that shit.
That thing, I was flipping burgers. That was one of my first jobs.
Square
Flipping burgers.
patties,
Yeah,
just-
yeah, flipping the square patties. I'd be stealing food left, right, and center from that place. I'd be making my own concoctions, and yeah, they don't even.
That's what. No, go ahead,
yeah,
sorry.
they don't even cook this anymore. Like the grilled chicken or the chicken Caesar wraps. The
Mhm.
Oh,
good
fuck,
ones.
yeah,
Go
yeah,
wrap?
yeah.
No.
They don't make those anymore.
Nah.
I'm trying to remember what the Wendy's called
Chicken
them.
Caesar wrap.
The
I
chicken
remember
Caesar
that.
wraps.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
the best shit there, and nobody bought it. And when I ate it, I went, "This is fucking awesome." And then you gotta like flip a
Chicken,
square pat.
mayonnaise, lettuce.
Brooke was in.
Yeah.
Brooke did
Put my
top-
hand in the fucking mayonnaise jar like this big because you have the gloves on. You're like, oh, this is so weird. That slurping noise.
That's what
Brooke
Ben,
used to work at Taco Bell,
Yeah,
right?
she is.
Oh,
She's
that's
working
right.
at Taco Bell.
Ben from BurgerFi, Banjo.
Yeah,
he
fucking
said
banjo.
like that's what he said they do there. They go in the back like after hours or whatever it is and like take the ingredients that they have there and come up with their own shit.
Yeah, you just
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
90% sure
fucking
that
shit.
that is how they come up with about 100% of their menu, like those
mean-
special ones.
Yeah, BurgerFi is not gross, but it's definitely fast food.
It is.
Yeah.
It's the best fast food you've ever had.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a really good
In-N-Out
$12 bacon cheeseburger
Yeah,
with fries.
that's
the other
another
day.
thing.
In-N-Out
It's
burger.
$12,
In-N-Out
and then you're like, I'll have a beer. You'd be like, that'd be $49.
Bro, I was
I
just
guarantee
talking
you know. I
about
guarantee.
In-N-Out
I
burger
guarantee you.
today.
I know why because, and I guarantee you know why because you're not catering to the fucking faster crowd anymore. Fuck them anyway. Fuck you assholes. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Language.
What?
Yeah,
This
this
is
is
because
a
of the
family.
What are we
It's
drinking?
because
It's
of
not
the,
like you're gonna get kicked off the show.
It's because of the fucking rent they charge there. I guarantee you.
Oh.
Like
Oh,
you,
yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
said before.
You're like,
it's
I'll have a burger with the smallest fries you have. And they're like, the smallest fries we have is $13.
Yeah.
And you're like, can I have less
And it's a
fries? And
bag
they're like,
full.
we can
Something
give
to
you
stuff.
less fries.
like Five
But
Guys.
it'll still cost $13.
Yeah. It's a sack of fries.
We'll
like
give
what's
you-
a sack of fries? You need a burro to carry them.
Has
out.
anybody
Sorry.
eaten at In-N-Out?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
I've never eaten
been to
at In-N-Out.
California?
Never
No.
been there.
I've
No,
never-
no.
I've
never
never-
been to the West Coast.
I have
It's
have been
it's a
to
bucket list
Iceland
thing?
and Indiana. That's so there's Iceland. Iceland is here. Indiana is here. No, oh, okay. So from your perspective, this is Iceland. This is Indiana. Nothing past that.
Dallas, Texas. Is
I've
as
been to
far as-
Canada a
as
bunch of
far
times.
as-
Oh, man.
as I've gone.
Canada's like here.
How do I describe this? I'm going to California in April, probably the end of April. Coincidentally, around 420.
Me too. Where are you
Oh,
going?
weird.
LA.
Me too.
Oh, you guys should hook
No,
up. And
we're
have
not
sex.
going.
I was about to be like, dude, if you say you're going to
What about
Joshua-
Whataburger down
Fuck
south?
that.
Haven't
No.
been there
You don't
now.
like Whataburger?
No.
Listen,
Anyway, so
Whataburger's
let him-
Whataburger is
yeah.
Put a
like
pin in
burger fry mixed with Five Guys, but in North Carolina.
No.
All right. You get
Real-
off your flight, you get your luggage, you get your rental
Put a
car,
pin in
you
Whataburger.
go to In-N-Out Burger. That is the mandatory, that is the rule when you get to LA.
No.
Like
okay.
you even know where your closest In-N-Out Burger is to LA.
all that fucking nostalgia and shit.
Yeah.
That was the
aside,
second time I went to San
is it a-
Diego. I did that.
Is it a good goddamn burger?
Yes.
It's a very good burger.
All right. It's like
Yes?
Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
It's like Chick-fil-A. Everybody ever had Chick-fil-A?
I
With all the
That
love-
fucking place.
Okay.
Is
With all
nice.
the Christian.
fucking love
Okay.
Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
With all the-
so it's
With
it's
all
the
the Christians.
They
the
can all
burger-
eat shit and
They're open
die,
on
but
Sundays.
I fucking love Chick-fil-A.
it's the burger
Yeah,
version
we
of
used to get a
Chick-fil-A.
lot in North Carolina.
Yeah, it's yeah,
With
it's
the
the burger
ranch.
version of Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, because like
even their ranch
Chick-fil-A,
dressing,
Chick-fil-A
I can
is
handle.
like
I
Yeah.
fucking hate
it's
ranch.
breaded
I was a-
chicken,
I was
and
a
you're
converter.
supposed to dip it in the ranch. That's Chick-fil-A.
Oh man, I gotta go to Chick-fil-A again. Oh, there's one in
Chick-fil-A is
Danbury. isn't
delicious. I
I
fucking
don't
love
know.
Chick-fil-A.
there?
I have
there's
no
one in
idea.
Danbury.
I
Alexa,
haven't.
Where's the nearest Chick-fil-A?
I haven't been there since North Carolina.
That's gonna
Same
fuck
here.
everyone up. Who's
That was-
listening
And
now.
every time,
Out of everything, that's the one thing I
Sunday,
miss.
2:45 p.m., everyone's hungover, and we're like, let's get some fucking fast food. You pull in Chick-fil-A, and you sit at the drive-thru, and you're like, what the fuck is happening? And they're closed.
they're
Because
good Christian
they are
people.
not open on Sundays at all.
Yeah.
So then you
And
go to
they're like,
Waffle House.
motherfucker. No. But they don't go to Waffle House because there's only one, and you don't go to the Waffle House unless it's 3 a.m. You go to, where the fuck is the place with the guy with the big nose?
Piggly Wiggly.
Jew burgers.
No.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I thought of it, and I'm glad that I didn't think of it very quickly.
It's bad. It's
I'm gonna
terrible.
write down Jew burgers.
Wait, you could have gone. You could have gone Vada Burger.
All right. So this
circles
it
back
doesn't
around
matter.
to 7-Up. Do they
bad.
serve
It's
7-Up
terrible.
there
I
at Vada
know.
Burger?
It's bad, but it's what came in my head.
Oh, I'm so glad I peed.
That's what came in my head.
So
Maybe
this
I'm a fucking
this
anti-Semite.
podcast is now called Dead Radio Podcast Endgame. Also another colon Jew burger.
No, this is so bad.
No, how do you like your Jew burger?
No, it's Jack in the Box.
Smoked.
It's so horrible.
The
Smoked.
fast food place that I was trying to think of is Jack in the Box.
Ah, yes, Jack in the Box.
Yeah, and they had a meal called the Big Cheeseburger.
Did you hear what he said?
I hear what I heard. All I heard.
All
what
I heard
said.
was Jew burgers.
It's still resonaning in my brain. And
How
I'm
do you,
ba-
no,
I'm like-
I said Jew
I feel
burgers. How
like-
do you like your burgers? He goes,
Smoked.
That's terrible.
I know it's so bad.
It makes
But
it
anyway,
worse.
if you go to the South
done. I'm
and you
done.
go
I'm
to
not
Jack in
gonna
the
say it.
Box, they have a burger that's called the Big Cheeseburger, and it delivers on that.
it's big.
It's good. It's a big cheeseburger. It's like
Yeah.
this big.
Jack in the Box.
Yeah, Jack in the Box is very good.
I
Jack in the
can't-
Box
I think
had
I've
a
been there.
huge setback in the early '90s with E. coli.
I thought that was Popeyes.
It wasn't any.
Oh, it was
kind of,
Popeyes too,
and fucking
I mean,
Chipotle, too.
Yeah,
but it
oh,
wasn't. any
Chipotle.
kind of-
is- yeah.
That was in the early 2000s.
It wasn't
No,
any
it's
kind
like
of anti-Semitic
2010s.
Yeah.
remarks that fucked them up.
No. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
you came up with Jew burgers, so
Come on, Boschwitz.
Boschenstein.
Boschberg.
Here, this is
Burger.
This is the jingle.
Bosch burgers. It's like Wahlburgers.
Don't
you have
love
to
it?
at least hashtag Jew burgers.
Watch. This is what gets you guys notoriety. This is the one where everybody's like, "Where's
Yeah.
the next show? Where's
The
the next
cap
episode?"
episode where they throw everything.
Yeah,
to
it's
the
like
wind.
when you gain popularity through syndication.
You're gonna see
That's
your
what's
number,
gonna happen with this show.
You're gonna see your numbers skyrocket.
yeah,
People are like, why is everybody in Israel watching us all of a sudden?
There's actually the episode where I did the worst of Dead Radio episodes 1 through 8 has some
Well, when
like,
we get back.
I swear to God, the people who listen to this show, they need
Did
to
I
like
start?
they need to if
It-
you're
it-
first if you're just listening to this episode for the this is the first episode out of all of our episodes that you started listening to. I gotta say the audio quality is really good.
Yeah, that was
I almost
Hey.
felt like there were poker chips being
Just
slotted around. Can we listen to that again?
real quick.
No, wait,
Real
wait,
quick.
everyone.
I swear to God, the people who listen to this show, they need to if you're It's me first doing this.
No, wait.
You're just listening to this episode for the this is the first episode out of all of our episodes that you started listening to. Oh yeah, I did.
That sounded like poker chips, right?
We weren't playing poker.
No, we weren't. But what the fuck was that?
I don't know.
I don't know. Sounds like a.
Oh, listen again.
All right.
Well, when we get
I
back.
swear to God, You're people doing this who on
Just-
listen
no.
to this show, they
No,
need
no.
to,
You're a
like,
piece
they
of
need
shit.
to-
You're doing
if
this
you're
on purpose.
No, I'm not.
If you're just listening to this,
I don't care about
episode
this
for
part.
this is the first episode out of all of our episodes that you started listening to.
It was a bottle cap.
Yeah,
No.
It was a bottle cap. That was me. Because
Or
I
a
would,
group
I
of
would
bottle caps.
No, but I would crunch bottle caps and put them in the
I can't
bottle.
believe that's real.
It's real.
That's
thing.
what it was.
I can't believe
What's
it's
that right there?
Urban Dictionary, Jew burger.
a Jew burger is real.
No, stop! I don't want
A bagel?
I want to
Yeah.
be done with this. I want to move past this. I
A
don't
bagel.
So anyway, let's go back to
Lox.
one other thing you guys did.
So
that
it's a
got you in
bagel
some
on
trouble.
lox
This is why.
Is the
I don't-
hamburger.
with
This is
which
why
does
that's
not have
Did
bacon
we ever
on it.
figure out if there's definitive proof that Asians don't shower?
This is
the reason the guest canceled.
I remember that one because that was awesome.
You know what? I think you just got me a little bit more energy. Because that shit happened. So why the fuck?
That episode was awesome.
Also, Jew burger.
What are you talking about?
Adjective.
A guest canceled
derogatory
because
term.
of the title of the show.
Yeah.
Asians don't use soap.
Yeah, Asians.
It was the following episode.
Yeah.
Because I was on. Oh no, that was.
It doesn't.
You
work.
asked me to come on because of that
doesn't work.
episode.
Because I came up with Jew burgers in my own brain without any lead in, without
That's
anything.
Not, like you didn't steal it. That's just
No, it's Urban Dictionary.
Parallel creation.
You will
like that happens a
literally
lot.
find anything on there. Just name it and it's
There's literally a video on YouTube, Jew burger prank call.
Oh,
Do you guys want to talk about these YouTube comments?
We have YouTube comments?
We have YouTube comments?
Yeah.
Oh, I already know about this.
Who's Aiden 1017X?
I don't know.
Caden?
Aiden.
Never mind.
I have
Forget it.
no idea who that is. It's nice that
So
you're
I
listening.
put out like a press release as to why
Uh-huh.
we're ending the show.
Health concerns.
Yeah.
Your Jew burgers are too
no,
rare.
Our official stance is. Our official stance.
Your Jew burgers are poisonous to my health.
That's Nicole, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Nicole. Voxy Mama.
And then
They gotta go back in the
XX
oven.
Aiden 1017X, who I don't know who that is, but it might be somebody we know. Asked, why are you guys ending it?
We're gonna get in
And
so
I
much
just
trouble.
I let everyone know that Ryan has to concentrate on his health. I can't disclose what's going on, but it's serious. And he said, that sucks, yo.
No idea who this person is.
No, I don't know either, but
It-
I mean, obviously,
It's definitely
Ryan has to concentrate on his health.
It's definitely celiac related
Yeah,
for sure.
I told you about that.
celiac related.
That bakery I found
HIV.
out in the Midwest, right? I think I actually text Brooke with it. There's a bakery out, I don't want to say Minnesota or like somewhere out in the Midwest. It's literally called Silly Yak's Bakery.
Oh, like a silly
It's a-
yak, like a
like-
yak
that's
dressed
like a
up
funny
like
go
like
to.
Mickey
But it's a
Mouse.
totally gluten-free bakery.
HCONGN2MENDXRKKBO6COBBL5F3GF.
I wish I just had the nerd part.
I just had a stroke listening to that. Like,
What was that from again?
That
no,
was
the code.
That was
It's not not Contra.
I have no idea. No, it's
that
not.
was
It's
probably the
something like-
code from
it's the-
Simpsons where Marge
no,
was...
no. That was
It's the game.
that
It's
was-
a Game Shark code
yeah.
that Chris, formerly of Cousins Ale Works, just rattled off the top of his fucking head
Mm-hmm.
Up, down, left, right, BA start.
like that.
That was
all
the
I-
blood code, right?
But in
That's the 100 lives code.
For
I don't want to live
Contra.
on this planet
Contra. Okay,
anymore.
that's
yes, yeah.
I'm sorry.
All right, let's move on. What were we saying?
About
Apologies.
I don't know. Before I interrupted.
Oh, no, he's going back to Urban Dictionary.
No.
Jew burgers. Let's talk about Jew
Oh,
burgers.
No, I don't want to talk about that.
I'm gonna
It's a
take
low
step
point.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna go back. Talk amongst yourselves. I have some stuff that I've wanted to talk about on this podcast for fucking years now.
I still have more of...
I still wanted to talk about astrology.
He's like,
can I...
he's like, these are the things.
Can
It's
I do-
ending. I need to talk about
Can I do
them.
one more thing? And this is actually good. This is for you guys. Yeah, dude, this place actually kind of like gave me the, when we were talking about time travel when I first started talking about it, and I wrote down on there Time Cop, and then you thought I said
Tim Cop.
Tim
No,
Cop.
we didn't
Dude.
say that. You wrote Tim Cop.
Yeah, but like writing, like actually coming up with that story, like the juices started flowing again, because back then I was not back in. I love doing film. I love being in film, but I just never was doing it, pursuing it that much. And then as time went on, I finally said, fuck it. I got nothing else going on in my life. I have, no significant other, no kids, no dogs, nothing to like kind of hold me back. So let's go back to doing film again. I got back on a registry. Bro, I've worked on 3 fucking movies in less than a year.
Yeah.
And that's 3 more than I've done
So it's good that you
per
hit
year.
rock bottom here.
Yeah.
Oh, I've
I've
gone rock
and then,
bottom.
Like your
Yeah.
career skyrocketed.
Like I worked on 3 that I can't talk
Mike,
about
do
because
you
I had
want that
NDAs.
poster?
Oh shit!
I would love it. I have non-disclosure.
I want to give him
agreements.
that poster.
I'll take it. I think it's awesome.
Give him the poster.
But
I
buy
printed
that
it
off
out.
you
You
if
can
you
keep
sign
the
it.
frame if you want, but
Actually, someone was telling
Give him
me.
the poster.
Someone told
Give
me
it to him.
once that
I'll
they
make
met
you another
somebody
one.
that knew about Tim Cop. But yeah, dude, getting like the creative juices flowing. I have fucking movie script ideas coming out of not my, literally, but like just out of the out everywhere.
I
One
still have
about-
the digital file. I can print you another one. But I think Mike
I'm not
needs to
upset
have this
about it. You
poster.
fucking take that. That's fucking great. That's hilarious.
There's one I came up with recently, and I was high as I was fucking high as balls when I came up with this idea.
No, you were feeling good, sir. This is a family podcast.
Oh no, I was high as fucking giraffe
Okay, good.
pussy.
This. It still fucking makes me laugh.
Dude,
Every
love
time
it.
I come down here,
the editing is amazing. The
Creator
Photoshop.
Fest, when I come down here for that, I looked at it. I'm like, God,
It's
that is so
It's
fucking great.
gotten. Yeah.
Oh, I
yeah.
zoomed all the
Oh
way in.
yeah.
I didn't even see that.
Minor fucking details. Every time I come down here, it's like I don't even laugh at it anymore. It's just it's an actual movie.
Yes,
that
it
exists
looks like
in
an
my
actual
fucking brain
It
now.
really
poster.
does.
It's too fucking good.
It's fucking
I spent
awesome.
6 hours on it.
Good. Because
You did a great
God
job. That's
damn,
fucking amazing.
it's perfect.
I came up with an idea high as fucking balls called I don't even know what to title it, but I started typing stuff down on my notes like all these how did this happen? How did this happen? And I'm doing research right now, and it's actually about having sex in space, and it's not a porn. It's like a legit. You ever see the movie The Men Who Stare at Goats?
yes. I
That
love
was
that
legit.
movie.
That was a
It's
legit
hilarious.
military. That was a legit military thing. And I think it was more based off
Yeah,
like
yeah,
telepathy, like controlling people with your mind.
Absolutely.
So what if NASA's a public entity, so everything that NASA does, everybody knows about. So I thought, how can they have sex in space and get away like hide it from people? Like what if they did it like back in the 70s?
That's definitely happened.
It has.
There's no
but
way it's
there's
not
no
happened.
proof about
if they
it.
shot a monkey
Yeah,
into
it's
space, then
But there's no proof about
There's
it.
been 13 to 25 people on the space station
Yeah.
at any given time.
But what if it was a NASA?
Someone is fucked up there.
But what if it was a
Yeah.
NASA
or at least jerked
sanctioned-
off. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Oh
that's it.
yeah, somebody jerked off.
But think about it. What if it was a NASA?
Somebody fucking jerked off.
What if
How
NASA
did,
was
like-
the one that was doing the experiment? Like how would
about
they say
jerking off or
sex, jerking off, all this stuff? Dude, they sent fucking spiders into space to see if they can weave
All kinds of
webs
coital
and everything.
things.
Yeah. So there's got to be some type of thing going on where they like had legit experiments like this, and they actually had to schedule it. Because if you ever like saw like a timetable or anything, they'll be like, oh, at 2100 this is when you purge this air filter, and at 2105 is this when you vacate this.
purge
So
your penis.
Yeah.
imagine they had like a sex schedule
Perjure.
and how
Sexual.
That's
yeah.
different. No.
that's different.
But they had
What are you
like I went on this whole little tangent in my head, like how do they like link people up to having sex in space, like different positions, like they have to like write it down, document it, video record it, and then you got 10,000 fucking people watching your homemade space porn.
Well,
So that's
I would
Popped in my
imagine
head.
Sex porn.
if you had some
Space
sort
porn.
of like Inception kind of, or yeah, like you're trying to have a baby in space. You have to think about it.
My thought was, why would they do that? And then I keep thinking it's got to be for like long-term space travel,
Yeah,
like to Alpha Centauri, which is like the closest.
but I mean, coming back to
Just like
the
closest star.
Nazi
Yeah.
the Nazi movie that I was talking about earlier. They head to Mars towards the end of it, and I was like,
Like like the Nazis.
it's gonna
did
take
in
them like
real life.
80 years to get there or something.
Mm-hmm.
You have to watch. Do you watch The Expanse on
Once.
Prime?
I saw like one episode, I think.
Watch that whole thing.
If you
'cause
watch
the-
The Expanse, you can watch Iron Sky.
No,
watched Iron
Sky did not.
totally
The
different.
people that wrote Iron Sky did not watch The Expanse because they don't understand the science. They just don't.
No. We're talking about Nazis. He can't. He doesn't want to chime in.
No. I just never any watched any of these. So
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
sitting back
So
and listening.
the thing with The
Oh.
Expanse is it's kind of realistic as to what would happen with all these fucking people. So you just live in space your whole life. You're a baby.
Yeah.
You grow up in space. You're gonna be fucking 14 feet tall and unable to
this
withstand
beer is
gravity.
smoother than you are right now.
I know.
So they torture people on
Fresh draft
Earth
Skippy.
that have been grown up in outer space by just making them stand up. Seriously, dude. Imagine that. You grew up without gravity. You'd have no muscles.
Yeah. You'd be like a lankety motherfucker.
Wall-E.
But Wally's a robot. That's
The movie, though. Did you see the movie?
Yeah. Oh, well, they lost bone density, but they had artificial gravity.
Still harping on
Yeah,
Two
but still, they
Burgers.
didn't. They didn't walk or anything like that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they had
Do you
no.
really want to
it's
go
the same
like
idea,
the dark
But
realms
that's
in my
that's
head?
like that's the extent of
Yeah.
like my
Possibly get us all
knowledge
kicked
as
off
to-
YouTube.
But it's the same idea.
like you're
Forever.
talking
Same
about.
idea.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what I mean. I'm like, you guys
This
are talking
is
about these movies.
this is
about
people that
I've never
worked
heard
in mining colonies on asteroids that had no gravity.
of. Right. Yeah.
So they grew up
Yeah, like Nexus
from
5.
children, and they're like like 12 feet tall because
Oh.
there's no gravity.
Right.
Like why? Like why would that be restricted? So you bring them to Earth and they fucking die.
Do you think that's true though? Like,
I-
not to go off on a. Like
it makes sense.
But how does it make sense?
It's almost like if I were to have you gain 600 pounds today.
Yeah, but How tall are you?
It doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say is you're 6'1", 6'5". So you're 6'5". If I had you gain 600 pounds today, how do you think you would feel?
Pretty full.
Everybody leave.
It would be like torture.
Yeah.
So it would be kind of like if I went to the moon.
No, I'm talking about the fact that like people are like the fact that people are like 12 feet tall. Like all these people are super tall. That's what I'm talking about. It's like because of the fact that
It's because just gravity didn't restrict their growth.
yeah, but do you think gravity restricts growth, or do you think it's genetics? Do you think it has to do with the
I
fact
think
that
I think it's both.
your posture, like that kind of thing, like
For
people
sure.
who
I
like
mean, if you didn't have to worry about posture because you're floating around in outer space,
Right,
like,
yeah.
who knows what would happen to the human body?
Right.
But what I'm trying to say is like today, if you were brought to a planet that had 12 times the gravity what you're used to, you'd feel fucking terrible.
Right, exactly.
You'd fucking die.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing like gravity does to somebody like me who I'm 5'9", 5'10", something like that.
Depending
And
on
I weigh
your
like
size.
Don't sell yourself short.
I literally have no idea how tall I am. How tall are you?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm going to say
5'7".
5'9".
I'm
5'10",
huge
maybe.
in
yeah,
Japan.
so we're about the same height. So let's say I'm 5'10", but I weigh
I'm definitely
easily,
6
I weigh easily 80 pounds more than you. Easily.
I don't want to get into all that.
No, seriously. What are you?
I'm too self-conscious.
What are you?
Listen.
170, 175?
No. Right now, I'm a little I'm mushy. I'm.
This is not
I'm in
what
the
we're
190.
This is not what we're talking about.
190
This is
area.
not what we're talking about. I'm not trying to start whatever.
I
So,
know. it's-
Okay,
I've
so
lost weight.
Let's
and
say
I'm
you're
270 now.
225. That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying
Yeah.
that I am
Damn.
heavier than you,
Oh yeah.
right? Adam is definitely heavier than us, but mostly because he's taller.
He's a big
What you weigh?
fella.
What you weigh?
Yeah,
He's got
so
big bones.
But what I'm trying to say,
much you
what
weigh,
I'm trying to
Adam?
say is,
I don't know what's going on.
if
anymore.
we go to
I've had
Mars-
too much fucking cider and gin.
okay, that's fine. But if we go to Mars right now, if we were just instantly transported to Mars,
But I don't want to go.
I don't want to go to Mars.
I want to go to Venus.
what I'm saying is
where
that
the girls are
too much
plentiful.
dust.
you could do backflips like a ballerina, but Adam and I could just lift like crazy heavy shit because it's only 2/3 of our gravity.
And I'd be able to lift
And if
around.
you go to the moon,
Mars
it's only
doesn't sound so
1/3 of our gravity.
So you can pee really far.
You lost me at moon.
Speaking of pee.
I'm just trying to say
I know.
that
I've just had way
You
too
guys
much.
just sloshed like 10 beers.
No,
of
I
pee
know.
Yeah, I know.
At this point.
So what I'm saying
Mike
is,
is the only sober
within
one in the
these
room.
shows, people born on these
Technically.
planets would not be able to exist on Earth. That's all we're trying to say. And you stopped paying attention a long time ago.
For a local
Where's that piece of
podcast,
chalk
there
for
are
the, like,
some
the longest
serious,
chalk of just-
in-depth conversations. Like really kind of, I'm not going to say dark, but very
rabbit hole.
intellectual.
Like the
What I'm
rabbit hole
saying
goes
is,
deep.
If you went to Mars now,
coronavirus kicking
you'd be a very strong person.
You got a corona over there?
If you were born on Mars,
Yeah, it's
Strong
a
physically
very
or strong
weak
mentally?
person.
My jacket was made in China.
Emotionally.
physically,
Oh, okay.
for the first
Excellent
part of what
callback
I'm
to the
saying.
pre-show.
Oh no.
Are you guys talking while we're talking?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
the fuck is wrong with
Only
you?
Well,
a
that's
little.
what happens
Only
when
a
you bring
This is
two
our
guests
show.
in.
Two
We were supposed
intellects
to
who have
have
been
6 tonight.
Do you imagine the clusterfuck that would be of like
Oh, it'd have been
microphones and
terrible.
headset? We'd be going back and forth, and you guys are just sitting there going, "The fuck is going on?"
What are you talking about?
astronomy.
Oh, astronomy?
We've literally
Yeah,
been
we're
talking about
that. I have
astronomy.
some
No. We avoided that. It's over now.
I
What?
have astrology facts.
Wait, wasn't that
I
the?
typed in astrology facts in Google,
Just-
and it tells me what's real.
Just letting you know, I still have PTSD from your Halloween party because of that woman.
Who?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yes,
That's my steps.
because she decided to go crazy about astrology.
Yeah. She's.
I'm gonna go pee. You guys have fun.
Yeah.
She's
I
really
still
in
have-
tune with nature.
Are we going to pee together?
Oh my God. We can't. Okay. We
Not
can't
gonna
take
hold
a
hand.
full break.
But
Not
yeah,
now.
I still
we're
have
3 hours in.
I
We're
still
about
have
to hit
PTSD
the 3 hour
about that.
mark.
All right. Well, Adam took the bathroom.
Well,
Talk about your astrology. Let's hear this.
So I'll pee on the outro. How long is your astrology thing going to be?
it's not. It's literally. Hold on. I just want to make one serious point about astrology, and it's. And that's it. I'm good.
Nice.
We'll wait till Adam comes back. This is exactly what we expected it to be.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Way too much to drink.
Good laughs, good fun. Dude, seriously.
I'm sad to see it go, but
I'm not
I
saying
think
this,
that
this show, like, changed my life, but it fucking opened up avenues.
And
Yeah.
that's all we ever wanted to do is just open up avenues.
I'm going to miss it, but I think it was time. I agree.
Man, I like.
But I hope that in the next several years you'll be able to do something else.
Yeah, I need time away
Yeah.
to figure out what exactly creatively I want to do again.
You have so many ways of, so many platforms and streets and avenues that you can go down just for this podcast. It doesn't necessarily have to be two guys sitting in front of a camera with two microphones. You could be doing that pizza guy, the one that ate all the pizza and reviewed it.
Oh, the Hudson Valley Pizza King?
Yeah.
Pizza King.
But you could do something so stupid, and he has a fucking following. Dave has a following, for fuck's sake.
I missed
Well, no. You guys aren't up to date on Dave.
Oh,
Is
Dave
he dead? Did he
no,
die?
he's
But-
still alive. But I'm actually not.
He
sure if he's
records
still alive.
commercials and puts them on YouTube.
Listen, Dave G, his streaming, like the camera that he uses to stream, it died, and he doesn't have enough money unless you send him some.
I am not sending him
He
shit.
doesn't have enough money to
Just $1 or $25.
Yeah, exactly.
or-
$1 a month will help you feed Dave G. to get
money, and I immediately thought of Dave G. And I'm like,
yeah, like I've kept up on Dave G. He's fallen on hard times. He can't afford a camera to keep his
for him,
his like high quality YouTube videos.
World's smallest violin, just for him.
What are you gonna
But
do?
That's
It's
my point,
It's
though.
a hard
is
life.
You can go in many different avenues, many
Exactly.
different streets, together, separately. The Dead Radio Podcast presents Dungeons & Dragons. Dead Radio Podcast presents Beers of the World. It's just shit blowing out of anywhere. You could do anything you want. You just have to kind of figure out what that niche market is that people would want to watch, and then go from there. And then you just expand your base.
I think we need a break from
More focus.
whatever this is.
Yeah, instead of doing it
And
weekly, you do it
whatever
monthly.
whatever it
Or
becomes.
randomly.
It becomes.
that's what I told him. Well, I think I told you too. I said
Yeah,
just do it monthly,
just
maybe.
we're not planning on that right now, for sure. Just if in 6 months maybe we want to do that, we might do that. But I think that it's going to be more out of the basement if we were to do anything.
Yeah.
I still actually
Yeah.
do want Tim Cobb made. Not gonna
See,
lie.
I'd be like fucking on board for that shit.
Yeah.
I still want to make Tim Cobb.
I'd like
Where
to
am I
fucking
gonna-
do
Yeah,
a fucking.
so
I do need
so
a prostitute.
again,
What?
I need a
again,
prostitute
again,
for the show.
again,
Prostitute?
again.
For the movie.
I'm down for whatever, but the weekly show is done.
Yeah.
Nah, if you keep doing it monthly or randomly or stuff like that, then
Just
I-
the-
yeah. You don't have to announce it. You just kind of like give
Again,
people a taste.
In
Be like,
6 months, if you're just like, hey, let's go to this concert and do a fucking podcast, I'd be happy to do that. But if that doesn't happen, that doesn't happen. That's fine. But I mean, if there's a Tim Cop movie, we will all be in.
I'm gonna be in a fucking Tim Cop movie.
Richard,
I'm
what's
gonna
his name?
fuck.
The Top Gear guys, Richard Hammond and James
Clarkson.
May. James May.
James May.
They have a fucking podcast where they make English food from when they were children, like spam and spam and white.
Yeah,
I don't
white
want
bread
to
and
do
all
that.
shit.
Some like meat wrapped in sheep's gut, boiled in a fucking pot, and spread over fucking rice noodles. No,
bro,
I'm good.
Bro, people will watch it.
So can
people
we
watch
really,
popping videos?
So it turns out.
Well, what about my podcast idea?
Oh yeah,
What
we
you
got
got
like
going?
what do we call it?
It was like it was the brown collar comedy.
brown collar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why haven't you done that yet?
That actually is a good idea.
You'd have a.
Where the fuck? This should have been like topic number one.
Right, yeah, no.
That's a good idea.
It's a quiet thing.
Yeah.
Shh.
I need the time. I need the resources. I need the.
Dude, we have a
You just-
fucking.
I
We
know
have a
that,
Zoom
but I'm just saying, if you
recorder.
just, like,
Like you
get
can
rid
just
of
do
your
it
kid, it'll be
tomorrow.
fine.
Like
Just
you
put a
could
GoPro
seriously
in your
do it
van.
tomorrow.
It's a package car, Mike.
Package car.
Delivery service vehicle.
Stupid fuck.
I'm a service provider.
There's
All
your
right,
service.
I need
right
to
there.
pee, and I think that this was great.
I peed. I'm good to go for another half
All right,
hour.
well, but I
That-
need to pee, and I'm the host of the
That's
show.
nice. Yeah.
Mike, you ready to keep
Congratulations to
I
you.
don't fucking mind. I'm
going? All
good.
right, let's keep going.
No, actually, I do have to go home. I got dinner to make because I
Yeah.
haven't eaten in forever.
Steak up off.
Hmm?
All right.
Exactly.
He said steak au poivre, which is actually steak au poivre. It's a true story.
I'm more.
I mean, we
my
can't
own
not
club.
end this on you being wrong.
Wait, whoa.
In dead radio fashion.
Oh,
A
fuck.
small.
all right.
Just
Dial it down. Dial it
a
down.
small, yeah.
Bring it down.
You gotta do the
Bring
toast.
it down like a little bit.
You don't have to, of
I got
course.
my-
We
My-
all have to do
my up of
just a
7.
taste of the HSE Saint. What is it? How
Cunty
do you say it?
McCunface.
Fucking Martinique makes the shittiest rum ever.
And we all have to do a fucking.
Can I put that in my car and run off of it?
Probably.
We have to do a fucking taste. Where are you?
This one.
Say when.
When?
You fucking
I fucking don't want to drink this
yeah,
at all.
you have to.
Gentlemen,
This is.
thank you for many, many
Oh
years.
my god! I
Yeah,
can
many,
smell it.
many hours.
It's been fun.
of listening pleasure.
To 240 episodes of the Dead Radio podcast.
And to 240 more.
Bully,
of something
bully.
else.
Well, that's
Hey, well,
in New York State. That's a legally binding contract.
To New York State, you fuckers.
How the hell is that possible that I could?
It's so fucking horrible.
it's so bad.
How the fuck am I smelling it in my drink and there's no booze in there?
It's so bad.
How am I
That's the
smelling
worst-
that?
That's the worst rum I've ever had. What the
I'm
fuck?
gonna throw up.
Oh my god, that smells like cat piss.
Oh,
That smells like fermented cat piss.
Martin, you can go to hell.
I hope that whole island just like floats into the ocean and sinks.
I want to kick you in the dick so hard for buying that. I really do.
I didn't
You've
even
been sitting
finish
on
the
that
whole-
Oh,
fucking
it's in
bottle for
French.
Look, I have
Ah.
a little left. I couldn't.
Yeah.
finish.
Oh, you didn't finish it? You need to finish it.
That-
You piece of shit. I fucking
I'm gonna
finished
throw
I
up.
finished it too. Jeez.
Fuck you.
It smells like fermented
Ah.
pineapple. Oh god, no.
It's so bad.
Burn that thing.
It's so fucking bad.
Let's all go out for Jew burgers.
I want mine cooked well done.
I fucking hate that I said that.
Oh God. How tall you want yours? This is Kyle.
Oh
This
my
is like-
god.
Like ruined my night. It's my fault. I shouldn't have pushed.
I mean, it
everybody.
shouldn't have ended at a good note. Like, why would we do that?
Put a little
Ah.
of that there.
Oh, that'll
Oh god.
strip the paint off a car.
Fuck you and a half. Sorry.
Thank you everybody for tuning in.
for the last 240 weeks.
Yeah. It's been it's so bad.
Are you drinking? Oh, that's water. That's gin.
Man, I feel like I should drink gin to fucking.
I think you owe us a gin after that one. Wow.
I gotta throw up outside. That's bad.
That's the first time I've had
Put
that
a
stuff.
cap
and
on
is
that,
just,
please.
No, dump that
Oh,
shit in
yeah,
the fucking
yeah.
toilet.
I can
You know
still
what? It
smell
might be kind of cathartic to at some point for
Fuck
both of us
cathartic,
just
no,
fucking dump that out. Just both go into your bathroom and just dump it out.
It's right down the toilet.
Well,
where
like
it
a little-
belongs.
We've been sitting
little
on that
Catholic.
for, we've been sitting on that for 2 or 3
It's
years.
been a while.
It has not aged well.
Oh, it's fucking terrible.
Dude, I'm gonna
It aged like fucking Emilio Estevez. Full circle. Brought this episode back to the beginning.
I mean, no. Emilio's
That thing is
aged
like
very
Way
well.
hotter than that.
He's way hotter.
I don't know. That's
Fucking-
still burning in my fucking mouth.
Dude, I'm serious. I can smell it in my
Yeah.
drink. It just
Bad.
permeated over to my side. I'm like, who the fuck is
I
pineapple?
feel like I'm being choked.
I feel like
There you go.
Not
There's
in
your
a
next
sexual-
podcast.
I feel like I got
Not in a
fucking
nice
raped.
sexual way.
Choked, but I got fucking raped by my fucking mouth.
Anger rape.
Rage, rage, fucking rage.
Well, here we are at the end. We're 7 minutes into the outro. We have 10 minutes
10
left.
minutes left.
I'm gonna go pee.
He's
I
got.
I think I'm done.
All right. We're done.
I think it's over.
Mike,
Mike, you
thank
want to
you.
keep talking?
Nah, I gotta go home.
Yeah, me too.
Adam, number 2.
I got a bed that's calling my name.
This has been an interesting episode.
It's been an interesting like 5 to
years.
6 years. No, it was great, and we'll miss you guys.
Hey,
We'll miss you too.
thank you guys for
I mean,
everything
it's
you
not
brought
like
us.
you guys are gonna die. And
Yeah.
No, but I
Like,
feel like part of this
these
is.
videos are
What
still
the fuck am I
awesome,
gonna do
dude.
on Mondays now? Work? Watch more YouTube?
Anything else?
Watch other
that was
YouTube
never
videos?
our responsibility.
What am I gonna do with my life now?
All right, let's. Good cheers.
All right, it's empty, but symbolism.
Gentlemen's lunch.
Oh, there's a little left.
To the life of the death of the Dead Radio podcast.
I like that.
I had a great time. I'll miss it,
Ditto.
but it's time. It's good.
I gotta pee.
Actually,
I
you
know.
what?
So do I.
real quick.
I wouldn't have
also,
said it was time if I didn't have to pee.
to the death of this, but also to maybe to the rebirth sometime.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. Dead,
That's really reassuring.
dead radio. Right.
See what I can do.
So I do have to say that the name of the show will never come back.
Nah.
Never.
Can't.
That
It
was
has to be
ours.
something different.
That was ours. Maybe something. But
Some of this in a bun.
yeah.
Do you guys still have
But,
the
uh,
T-shirt
said.
right thing or whatever? You can make T-shirts.
I can make as many T-shirts as you want,
I want
but
you to
I
make-
don't have
I-
them in your size.
Yeah.
No, I want you to make 4 T-shirts. I want you to make 4 T-shirts.
Wait.
Sew them all together.
No,
Cut the music. Cut the music right now. Anybody want a T-shirt? No, cut the music again.
Oh.
Just seriously, anybody listening right now want a T-shirt? Because I have small, medium, and large.
Do you have medium?
No, I don't have any shirts for you, Adam, because you were
No.
a giant
I
person.
said medium.
Well,
'cause there's a
I'm
few-
between a small and a medium at this point.
medium.
I don't
too.
have them with me.
I'm a medium.
Okay, no. Anybody who wants a T-shirt, send us a message on Facebook. You get one for free. Small, medium, and large. Those are the T-shirts I have.
Yeah. And even if you wear an extra large, you can wear a small.
I mean, yeah,
and it'd
just
be really sexy.
Just like a belly shirt. You look
Hot.
super hot.
Super sexy.
Hot.
Yeah.
Like in my
So
size.
Adam doesn't get a shirt, but everyone else does. So, but seriously, I have probably 10 in every category except for 2X.
Yeah, no, that's not me anymore, so I'm good.
You're a solid medium.
This is a small jacket.
Yeah, you're a sexy white man that wears a medium to small shirt.
Thank you. I worked
just
very
sent you a
hard for
message.
this.
I'm pushing medium into large.
All right, so everyone message us on Facebook. I will not ship them because that costs fucking money.
I know a guy who
But-
can get you some shipping.
But if you're on Adam's route, he'll drop one off.
And for the right money, a Jeep will go anywhere.
So yeah, we have probably 30, 40 shirts left over.
Still got a Zazzle store.
Yeah.
I didn't take that down.
No one's ever ordered from that ever.
Even the cufflinks and the baby onesie you were the baby onesie you were supposed to design.
But we have T-shirts in stock, so if anybody would like to grab one, now's the time.
Donate them to Darkside.
Fuck those guys.
Yeah, fuck Darkside. In the bum.
All right, I won't go any further.
But seriously, buy records from that.
This is over. Yeah. It's over now. We're ending it. It's
now,
over.
Now it's over.
Good night.